That's battle for second and third on the racetrack. They're chasing the number 1 rider out front. It is Dallas Daniels, and Jill corrected me right here. Jill said Lima was his first ever race as a pro rider here in American Flat Track. White flag is out. 1 lap to go for our AFT singles class. Number 1, Dallas Daniels. Don't have any times up here in the booth just yet. We'll get them to you as soon as we can. Daniels on the 1 bike, Mikey Rush's teammate. Here comes Maxwell dropping to the bottom of the racetrack, trying the shorter way around the Allen County Fairgrounds. They almost touch coming off of 4 as they race to the checkered flag here in practice. AFT singles. Dallas Daniels on the 1. 18 is Maxwell, and 50. Look how low Whale is. He's checking out the low line right now. It did drop some precipitation. I'm not saying the R word. But it did drop some of that last night and yesterday during the day, so the track is a little bit wet underneath. They're going to drag it after every group here in practice for sure. Take a look back at one of the replays. Up next will be group number 2 of our AFT singles class, but first we'll take a look back at a replay of what we just saw out here. AFT singles practice, Mikey Rush goes to the high side, and Max Wells dropping to the bottom, the shortest way around the track. Chris Carr would call that the Rich King line, but sometimes it works. He gets really sideways, and it's really loose down there on the bottom. They swap it off. We'll take a quick break. We're going to drag the track after every practice session. When we come back, practice group number 2, AFT singles from Lima.
Hold on to your burritos because things are about to get too fast, too tasty. Mission Foods is a proud sponsor of the AFT Super Twins. Add Mission to your race-watching snacks for mouth-watering race day flavors. Mission Foods. Too fast, too tasty.
Progressive insures over 5 million boats, motorcycles, and RVs throughout America. Get a quote in under 4 minutes at AmericanFlatTrack.com/progressive to see how much you could save.
We're the Law Tigers, America's motorcycle lawyers. We understand the challenges riders face every day. As riders, we want to share the road and be seen by motorists. Remaining visible is critical to our safety and well-being. That's why we work tirelessly to promote motorcycle safety and awareness. We're proud to support our community that includes riders of all stripes. If you've been injured in a motorcycle accident, call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS or visit lawtigers.com. The Law Tigers, America's motorcycle lawyers.
It's time to get out and ride with Johnny K's Power Sports. Whether it's work or play, on the trail, highway, or water, we've got the hottest deals around on Can-Am, Polaris, Indian Motorcycles, Scarab Jet Boats, Sea-Doo, Honda, BMW, and more. Plus, the largest selection of power sports apparel, parts, and accessories in the Midwest. We're Ohio's power sports giant in Elyria, Lodi, and Niles. Johnny K's Power Sports.
When everything is on the line, when you need the absolute best in performance and protection. There's only one brand that has what it takes to get you to the finish line. Liqui-Moly.
Proven performance is not some sort of empty slogan or marketing catchphrase, but a way of thinking, a mantra, and something we've practiced every day of the week for the last 6 decades. Designed, manufactured, and tested in the heartland of America. On and off the track, S&S Cycle is the first choice in power sports performance.
Group number 2, AFT singles on the racetrack. Group number 2, 99 Kevin Stallings, 143 Cody Kopp, 124 Hunter Bauer, 94 Ryan Wells, 26 Aiden Roostevens, the 11 Andrew Luker, 161 Casey Cisco, 55 Tyler Raggio, 175 Taryn Santero, 191 Dustin Brown, 182 Travis Pettin. Those are the bikes on the racetrack. It is group number 2 of our practice session out here today. Checking out the racetrack. This is practice for our AFT singles riders. It's group number 2. Don't have any times in front of me yet, so we'll just keep an eyes on what's happening on the racetrack. Now we got some times. Brandon Kitchen, the 105, is in the top spot. He was in group number 1. Fastest bike on the racetrack might be the number 26, Aiden Roos-Evans right now. Roos-Evans on the Waters Auto Body KTM entry. He's the fastest bike on the track. Also out there, the 143, Cody Kopp. He's currently in the 9th position. This is just practice group number 2, AFT singles. 26, fastest bike on the racetrack. Now 191, Dustin Brown, the Canadian rider's up there, is the fastest bike on the racetrack. 191 made his appearance. His first time out at AFT was last weekend in OKC. 191 is the fastest bike on the racetrack as the white flag flies from Big P, our flagman, here in this practice group number 2. Right now, Brandon Kitchen has the quickest time in the singles class, 26.210, 26.2. The 105 of BK, Brandon Kitchen. This is group number 2. The checkered flag's out for some of these front runners. Here comes a few more riders taking the checkered flag off of turn number 4 at the Allen County Fairgrounds. Checkered flag is out. Fastest bike on the track in that group was the 191. Dustin Brown moved into the 6th position on the 191. He's got a 26.658. Quickest time so far in the singles class, the 105, Brandon Kitchen, 26.210. They stop on the back straightaway, do a practice start. They're allowed to do that according to the riders meeting earlier today. They get one practice start, I believe, each session if they choose to. Take the rest of the bikes off the racetrack, and then the drags come out with those Ram trucks. They'll bring the drags out, drag the loose stuff back from the top of the racetrack down to the bottom of the racetrack to give us a nice pea gravel cushion for all of our competitors. For you folks that are here, stop by and check out the T-shirt booth. There's just right outside the grandstands. The event shirts are on sale. American Flat Track and Clothing Company a little bit further down. We're having fun so far. It's early on, round number 7 of the Progressive American Flat Track. We'll be right back.
Drag Specialties, a major sponsor of today's action, welcomes Lima race fans. At Drag Specialties, our commitment is to riding and is a way of life. That's why we want to remind you, when you're ready to tackle maintenance or add performance and style to your ride, make your first stop a local dealer who stocks products from Drag Specialties. Drag Specialties, enjoy the races. Parts Unlimited, the people behind We Support the Sport, welcome you to the Lima Half Mile. We are proud to join with race fans everywhere in working to ensure that our sport gets bigger and more exciting each season. And you too can support the sport by visiting your local dealer who stocks products from Parts Unlimited. They've got the very best in high-performance parts and accessories and the best supply network in the business. Parts Unlimited, we support the sport. Fill Right fuel transfer pumps are proudly manufactured by Tuthill. Fill Right is used by farmers, truckers, construction workers, and more. Come down to the Benning area and speak with professional tractor pull racer Dusty Price and ask him about Fill Right.
Practice group number 3 in the holding pen right now. They enter the track and exit the racetrack outside of turn number 1 at the end of the front straightaway. 133, David Wiggin. 135, Ezra Brusky. 243, Jared Lowe. 298, Trent Pickle. 109, Billy Ross. 156, Jordan Jean. 157, Ian Wolf. 101, Grant Holmes. 121, Jacob Cassio. 107, Blake Steinwagner. And a 75 of Blake Lomas. Here they come. This group number 3. This is just practice. The times are being recorded so they can go back and make some changes to their motorcycles. You can see a lot of them with that duct tape, different colored duct tape on their helmets, on their plastic, on the paint, on the frames, on the front, the front fenders, the front fork tubes, keeping that pea gravel from chipping off the paint on their motorcycles. Good battle for that top spot. Looks like the 243, that's the Jet, Jared Lowe. They're mixing it up with the 133, David Wiggin. One rider's up against the air fence over here on the Honda. That's the 243, Jared Lowe from Indiana. He's got company up the inside. Looks like the 133. That's David Wiggin right there on the 133. He's in the top spot. Behind him is the 243, Jared Lowe. 75 out there, Blake Lomas out there from South Carolina. Completely different racetrack than they're used to racing down there in South Carolina, that's for sure. You see the different lines starting to form out here. Some of them like it high, some like it down at the bottom. Good battle for that top spot. We'll take a look through the pack a little bit. There's Billy Ross, the 109. There's the 135, Brusky from Milwaukee. There's the 157, Ian Wolf. Wolf on that 157 bike. He likes the cushion tracks. 157, Ian Wolf from Mansfield, Ohio, an Ohio native. Should go good on the cushion racetracks. Looking at the leaderboard right now, nobody's moving up there to the top few spots so far in this group. Ian Wolf, the 157, is up to 18th so far. He's on the racetrack as the white flag flies for our final group of AFT singles practice. Blake Lomas on the 75 bike. That's who we're following right here in these black leathers. Looks like he's got his suspension. He's up off of the seat, then back down. Suspension maybe not set up perfect for that rear wheel, or that rear end, I should say. Not the rear wheel, but he was up and all over the motorcycle. There's a good shot at Lomas right there, getting it a little bit sideways. Kind of riding a little bit of a bucking bronco right now so far. They'll get it dialed in before race time. Checkered flag is out. Like the fastest bike on the track might have been the 75 of Blake Lomas. So even though it looked like he was all over the place to me when we had him on camera, he got a quick lap in there. Blake Lomas moved up into the 11th spot, 2:6.853. That was our final group of AFT singles in their first and only round of practice. The Mission Super Twins get 2 rounds of practice. Everybody else gets only 1 round. Couple of practice starts on the back straightaway. We'll take a break in the action. We come back. AFT Production Twins practice right here at Lima.
Parts Unlimited welcomes racers and race fans to a high-performance day on the track. Like you, we can't resist the speed and the spectacle of top-level flat track competition. Our enthusiasm goes right down to the bone. We support the sport. It's not just our slogan, it's what we do, 24/7, 365 days a year, working to expand the sport in every possible way. Thanks for joining us at the Lima Half Mile, and don't forget to support your dealer who stocks performance products from Parts Unlimited. Parts Unlimited, we support the sport.
Dunlop is proud to be the official tire of Progressive American Flat Track. What we learn from racing is rolled into our production tires, such as the Dunlop K180, a street-legal version of the aggressive DT3 flat track tire. With the K180, street riders can now have the authentic flat track tire experience. No other tire company has won more American motorcycle championships than Dunlop.
If you ever dreamed of blue skies, fresh air, and blue-green water, then look no further. If your idea of heaven on earth includes velvet golf courses, romantic evenings, and sunsetting, then you owe it to yourself to check our Southwest Florida's beautiful Punta Gorda and its neighboring areas. At mydigitallisting.com, we have been making dreams come true for over a decade. Supporters of American Flat Track since 1999, our team of professionals are ready to help you find your vacation, investment, and permanent new residence in paradise.
Live dangerously.
And welcome back to the Ohio National Allen County Fairgrounds. Pea gravel at its finest here in Ohio. Up next, we'll switch our attention to the AFT Production Twins presented by Vance and Hines class. They come out according to their point standings right now. The man on top, 65, will lead him out. He is our points leader with 130 points. He is 35 points ahead of Dalton Gautier, who will come out second on the Harley-Davidson, doing it for Boswell's Harley-Davidson. 62 is Dan the Man, Dan Bromley from Warrington, Pennsylvania, sitting back there with 93 points, 37 points off the lead. So it looks like Corey's got a race and a half cushion right now coming into round number 7. In fourth in the points, Chad Coase had a DNF. Chad Coase had a DNF at the OKC mile number 1, broke a crank, borrowed a motorcycle, and finished up third. And he was up against the air fence last weekend at the OKC mile. He did start the year with the win at Volusia round number 1. And Ben Lau, the Holly Hot Rod, 56 points off the lead. He is on a Harley-Davidson as well. Talked to him yesterday. They were racing down at Greenville, Ohio, just getting tuned in on their Harley-Davidson for today's racing action. So they just shut the motors down. Must be a little bit too wet, or they're going to try to put a little extra moisture onto the racetrack. For you folks that are here, I'd like to say hello, especially to all of our friends that don't get to go to races except for when we come out here to Ohio. Mr. Sign is here up there on the deck. I'd like to say hello to him. Tom Duma, we're trying to get him over here into the booth. TDFJ from Warren, Ohio, former national number rider and current sponsor of the American Flat Track Series. TDFJ, the official jeweler of American Flat Track. And for the first time, the expert jewelers at Tom Duma Fine Jewelers will be designing a custom ring for each of the champions tailored to their individual style and taste. Custom rings are available only for the champions. Production Twins getting set to roll out. They're firing them up right now. 65, Corey Texter. 79, Dalton Gautier. 62, Dan Bromley. 49 is Chad Coase. 25, Ben Lau. 44, Cam Smith. 68, Reverend Ryan Varnes. Talked to Jim and Dolly Varnes. Ryan's grandparents are here. 64, Danny Eslick on the Triumph Bonneville. In the 31, that's Dylan Bell. Eslick making his maiden voyage with AFT on the Bonneville Performance Triumph. Bill Gately, Wiseco, Motion Pro, and Clockworks on the Triumph. We'll see how Eslick does. Had a few gremlins to work out last night down the road in Greenville. Corey Texter on the screen on the G&G Racing Yamaha. Texter said this is not one of his favorite racetracks, but he's got a big lead in the point standings, so he's trying to make it work. Taking a look back, there's the 79 Dalton Gautier. The times are being recorded up here for practice purposes only, but we'll take a look at them and keep our eyes on them as well. And the live timing, if you got the app. Varnes at the top spot, 26.511 right now for Varnes. Ryan Varnes on the 68 bike. Cameron Smith sitting second, the 44. Maybe he's got some momentum after his podium finish at the OKC Mile. His first ever podium with American Flat Track. Cameron Smith has moved all the way up to 6th place in the point standings with his 2nd place finish Friday night at OKC. Here's your leader. White flag is out for the 65 bike. Taking a look back, where is the 65? Corey Texter has led every lap, but he's back in 6th out of the bikes that are out there right now. Again, this is just practice, but the 68 looking strong so far. That's Varnes. 26.342 for Ryan Varnes in the bright green leathers. He's going up the inside of the 44, Cam Smith. A couple of PA riders right there. Varnes on the 68 brings him off of turn number 4 to the checkered flag. He gets by the 44, Cameron Smith. Varnes still at the top spot, 26.342. Cameron Smith second in that practice session. Ben Lau is third. Dalton Gautier fourth. Chad Coase is 5th. Corey Texter 6th. Dan Bromley 7th. Dylan Bell and Danny Eslick out there is 9th in that first session of Production Twins. And Varnes is, man, he had a couple of bad races at Oklahoma City Mile. Whatever could go wrong did go wrong at OKC. Varnes ended up with a 12th and 11th mechanical issues. He came to the starting line, had another mechanical on that bike. They've only got one bike here today, so hopefully they've done all their homework. They've got the bike together. I've heard that Some threads were stripping out of the head. They've heard a bunch of different issues. And the water bottle, the extra coolant bottle came out, popped as they went across the finish line when the bike got too hot. So they've been fighting some gremlins on that 68 bike. Hopefully he can pull it off today. Looking strong so far here in practice. There are two groups of AFT Production Twins presented by Vance and Hines class. They are prepping the racetrack after every session. We'll come back out here to the Ohio National. Group number 2, Production Twins, coming up next from Ohio.
At Indian Motorcycle, we believe the choices you make define you.
I see myself as a leader, not a follower.
Making the default choice is never an option.
It's easy to join the crowd, but it takes confidence to go your own way.
Motorcycles are meant to escape conformity, not embrace it.
Since 1901, Indian Motorcycle has been the choice of riders who make their own rules. Choose wisely.
S&S Cycle is the official exhaust manufacturer of the Indian Wrecking Crew and the premier brand for V-twin performance parts. Check out the S&S Cycle display in the vending area to learn more. Check out the Indian Scouts over at Johnny K's Indian Tent. Support your local dealer, Johnny K's Indian, Cleveland, Ohio. When you need the best in protection and performance for whatever you ride or drive, you need Liquid Moly oils and additives. Be sure to stop by their display in the vending area for more info about Liquid Moly, the official oil of the Lima Half Mile. Drag Specialties would like to salute the riders, the wrenches, the fans, the families, the vendors, and the officials. Everybody who makes the Lima Half Mile happen. You are the sport. We're here to support. Enjoy the fast action here today. And remember, when you need speed, see your dealer who stocks the highest of high-performance products from Drag Specialties. Drag Specialties, because we all support the sport.
Look at Ohio, the farmland right here in Ohio. That's a pet dog, and looks like somebody got a pet cow down here. We're having some fun out here at the Allen County Fairgrounds. That's a big dog on the right. That's a milking dog. We're in Ohio. Group number 2 set to come out. AFT Production Twins presented by Vance and Hines class of 10. Johnny Lewis back on the Royal Enfield. They skipped Oklahoma City. He's back to work. 71, Pat Buchanan. 161, Casey Cisco. 50, Jimmy McAllister. 223, Jeffrey Lowry. The 90 bike, Brandon Newman. 117, Jordan Harris. 22, Mitch Harvitt. And the 30, the longest name in flat track, Brock Schwarzenbacher, onto the racetrack. This is group number 2 practice for our AFT Production Twins presented by Vance and Hines class. Johnny Lewis out there on the Royal Enfield. So they're having trouble getting parts. They didn't want to take a risk of running that thing wide open around the mile, but he said, I'm not scared to let it eat out here at the Ohio National. Johnny Lewis on that Royal Enfield. Pat Buchanan chased him on the 71 bike. Leaders on the back straightaway. Looked like Johnny Lewis pulled the front wheels. They went over that bump. There's a little bit of a bump. As the tractors go across the racetrack normally out here at the Allen County Fairgrounds. There's Buchanan working up the high side. Johnny Lewis even higher than Buchanan down here in turn number 3 and 4. Don't forget, a little bit later on, we'll be switching over to TrackPass on NBC Sports Gold after opening ceremonies today. Opening ceremonies coming up at 6:30 p.m. out here Eastern time. Man, that's a big bump right there. You see Pat Buchanan actually bounced off of the seat. Here comes the group of riders a little bit deeper in the field. 223, Jeffrey Lauer from St. Louisville, Ohio. Jimmy McAllister, Petaluma, California. We talked to him earlier today. Also back there, the 117, Jordan Harris. He's a full-time coal miner, part-time racer. Good to see Jordan Harris back on the circuit. Yeah, Jordan Harris right here. Going up the inside. He's on the RRCF entry. Heath is the owner of that team, and Jordan Harris just the rider on that 117 bike. Again, full-time coal miner. Sure knows how to slide it into the corners. Hot. That's the 117, Jordan Harris. A white flag has been displayed to the leaders. This is just practice. Still Barnes at the top spot. 68 bike. Pat Buchanan, Johnny Lewis up to 4th on the number 10 bike on the Royal Enfield. JL10, Moto Anatomy Royal Enfield. There he is. Getting sideways. He'll bring him off of turn number 4. We'll move all the way up to 4th place unless this lap is a little bit faster. Checkered flag is waving. After this, we have scheduled a little bit of a break. Then Mission Super Twins practice will be at 4:30 p.m. if we stay on schedule, so about 10-minute break. Cherry flags out for a couple more riders. Let's take a look at the leaderboard here in practice. It is Varnes in the top spot. Revan Ryan Varnes, third generation flat tracker, 2.6.342. Cam Smith is second on the 44 bike. 25 Ben Lau is third. Right there, Johnny Lewis, the 10 bike, is fourth quick here in practice. Pat Buchanan, the 50-year-old, back there in fifth, number 71. Dalton Gauthier, sixth. Chad Coase is seventh. Jordan Harris, the coal miner, is eighth. Corey Texter is ninth. And Dan the Man, Dan Bromley, is 10th. So the production twins are stopping to do a little practice start. I'd like to give a birthday shout-out to Stevie Addison, Brian Smith's sister, and she is here in attendance. There's a look at the how they've qualified so far here at the production twins. Free practice, so there's no times right there, but Varnes has the top spot. Again, happy birthday, Stevie. It used to be Stevie Smith, now it's Stevie Addison. She married J.R. Addison, and they're roaming around the pit area today, so happy birthday to her. So the drags come back onto the racetrack, dragging the loose stuff back down to the bottom, giving us a racy surface. So after practice, one round of practice for the two classes, 2 rounds of the practice for the Mission Super Twins out here at the Ohio Half Mile, the Ohio National. The rest of the bikes are pulling off the racetrack. When we come back to the racetrack, scheduled to be next is our Mission Super Twins practice round number 2 from Ohio. We'll be back.
You own the job. The mornings that start too early. The nights that go too late. And every unexpected, unpredictable, unthinkable, unbelievable thing in between. You own it all. It's good to know you can rent whatever you need from people who do whatever it takes. Let's do the work.
This racetrack has turned out, AJ. It is incredible. They can run high, low, middle, anywhere they want. We're talking 8 riders in contention for this right now. The final corner awaits. Look at this track. Briar Bauman's going to have to use the track. Briar Bauman wins 2 years in a row here at Williamsburg.
Arai helmets started racing in America in flat track, and we've been supporting it ever since. Arai, handcrafted with an obsessive dedication to rider protection. For more information, please visit our website, AraiAmericas.com. Cardo Systems is the official Bluetooth communicator for American Flat Track. Whether on the road or at the track, the Cardo Systems industry-leading mesh technology keeps you and your fellow riders connected. Racers like Sammy Halbert rely on Cardo for street riding entertainment, as well as a training tool at the track. All Cardo communicators are fully waterproof, dirt-proof, and feature sound by JBL. For more information, check out cardosystems.com and follow Cardo on all social media platforms at @CardoSystems. Looking for more power? E3 spark plugs deliver more power, better fuel efficiency, and reduced emissions. The secret is in the patented diamond-shaped ground electrode that promotes a more complete burn of the fuel. Proven on the dyno and on the racetrack, the official spark plug of American Flat Track helps power champions on 2 wheels and 4. Winners run E3. What are you running? Falken Tires is proud to be the official light truck tire of Progressive American Flat Track. Choosing the right tire for your truck or SUV is critical. And Falken has you covered, offering highway terrains to all-terrains through torture-tested mud terrains. For more information on Falken's full line of Wild Peak products, please visit us at www.falcontire.com. Rocky Mountain ATV MC is proud to support the Progressive American Flat Track Red Bull KTM singles team and racers everywhere from start to finish by being the primary source for off-road gear, parts, and accessories. Rocky Mountain ATV/MC.com. Get ready.
And welcome back to Lima, Ohio. It's the Ohio National, the last Saturday in June. We're racing in Ohio, which also means I get to see my good friend Tom Duma. TDFJ is in the house. Tommy, welcome to the booth, man. What's happening?
Oh, man, it's just great to be back again.
But back.
Yeah.
Where have you been? You've missed so many races. I haven't seen you. You text me at every race. Would you stop falling off your motorcycle so you can come to the races?
I got to stop doing motocross. That's it. I'm done.
Yeah, we're supposed to go fast and turn left.
Right, exactly. Well, this was off season last year in May.
Man, it's been a long time.
Broke both ankles.
Stop
tibia
doing
and a
that.
fibia. Yeah, it's no fun.
So far, we've had one full round of practice for all three groups. This is Tom Duma, TDFJ, the official jeweler of American Flat Track, also part of the rookie class of 79, the rookies of 79 is what I'm supposed to say.
Right.
You had national number 26 in 1980 and 1982 with some of the fastest guys in flat track. What did that feel like?
It was fun. You know, it was the best times of my life. Only regret is that maybe I retired too soon, but you never know. Then wouldn't have met my wife, had my kids, and you know, life sometimes takes different paths.
Are you wearing my Rolex again?
Yeah. Did you tell the people this story?
No, I haven't told the story. I haven't told the story, but let's turn around and face the camera, see if we can get you up on the camera. Tom Duma, Fine Jewelers here in Warren, Ohio. How far away is that, Tommy?
3 hours. It's not bad.
Just 3 hours.
Yeah, it's just 3 hours. It's a short road.
Let's talk about the rinks where you guys. Yeah, this is the face of the guy who brings us the championship rings. It used to be a Rolex, and he's a flat tracker. So if you need any jewelry, get a hold of this guy. TDFJ.com is their website. Tom Duma, Tom, tell us about the championship rings this year. They're a little bit different than before.
Yeah, so, you know, I thought back you look at the Super Bowl rings, and they're always awarded after you get a champion because then you can put the football players' numbers and their names on the rings. You customize it. So I went to AFT this year and said, instead of producing the rings ahead of time, can we wait until we crown the 3 champions, and then I'll get the racers involved with the design concept. That way they can. There's 2 different panels on each side of the ring. They can have their picture, their favorite picture, their numbers, lots of different customization options that we're going to be able to do. So then that ring is uniquely theirs. And so we're excited to be able to bring the racers into the design concept.
I love it. And I liked, you know, last year I think you had the Dunlop tire print in the ring. You have checkered flags. You got diamonds on top. What kind of gold do the riders get to design that too? Is it gold or is it different kinds of material for their rings?
No, so what we do is for the singles, it's 14 karat gold, and then for the production twins is 14 karat gold. They can choose between white and yellow, and then super twins is 18 karat gold, and then each one will have over a carat of diamonds. The production twins was 1.5 carats, and then the super twins was 2 carats of diamonds. So the bling will kind of stay the same. They'll just be able to rearrange where they want the bling. If they want it all in the diamond number 1 on top, if they wanted their burst stone in there. So there is going to be lots of different options for them to be able to make that ring uniquely theirs, and something that they'll be able to cherish for their lifetime, for their achievement.
How neat is it for you, Tommy, to give back to the sport that you love?
Oh, you know, it's to get back. You know, it all started back in 2009 when the class of 79 got back together at the Indy Mile, and that was really when I got injured at Indy in 1981. It was like kind of broke my spirit, and I didn't go back to races. I think I came back to Lima was my first race back in the mid-90s. And then from there to 2009, I was kind of absent from the races, just taking care of business and doing those things. So it's great to be back.
Absolutely. Speaking of being back, we got bikes on the racetrack. It's Mission Super Twins presented by S&S Cycle. This is their second round of practice. Tommy, they get an extra round of practice. How important do you think it is to these riders? Because this is the only time of the year we come to a track like this.
Yeah, because the track has changed every time they're going to be out there. The line's going to change. Right now they can go in up high and come down across the cushion, and then later on as the race goes, it's usually going to be right in the middle, right in the thick of the cushion is where the line is, where it has been in the last several years.
We're taking a look at the number 1 rider right here. That's Briar Bauman. Briar, actually the top 3 in the points have all won out here at the Ohio National. It's a big race to win. It's one of the oldest races on the circuit right now, and everybody wants to win at Lima.
Oh, no doubt. It's a good feather in your cap, a good crown to have, and for sure.
What is it about Ohio guys and cushions? Tell me about that mix.
Well, I mean, there's 88 counties in Ohio, and there's probably 88 pea gravel cushion tracks at all the fairgrounds. So,
wow.
So back in the day, riding Ohio, you never had to leave. You could ride 3 days a week and on cushion tracks.
Yeah, us guys from Oklahoma, we had to travel up to Illinois or Ohio to get some racing. I mean, there was not a lot of it. I know Ronnie Jones came up here and raced in Ohio, and Santa Fe up there, and all over Illinois. But you guys had it made.
Right. It was my learning curve was exactly opposite of Ronnie's, where he had to learn how to ride cushion. I had to learn how to keep the wheels in line and 2-wheel on grooves.
67 was the top spot. Now it's the Ohio rider, the 20, Jared Vandekoy. Vandekoy goes to the top spot. This is just practice, but it's good for the Ohio rider. 25.780 for Vandekoy. Captain Chaos, he said, I don't like this track. Could have fooled me. He's at the top spot. There he is with the bright red duct tape on his helmet, trying to keep that helmet nice and fresh.
That's hard to do here.
Definitely. You got to put a lot of tape out there. Man, he's battling back there with Bronson Bauman on the 37 bike. Vandekoy at the top spot. There he is, catching a little bit of air coming off of turn number 2. I talked about it earlier, but there's a path where there's a hole in the fence right there where the tractors and everything goes across the racetrack. That's the bump coming off of turn number 2. You got to keep your wheels in line over that, right?
Exactly. It's a little ramp.
Yeah, a little jump on the back straightaway. How about Vandekoy at the top spot here in practice? I love that. The Ohio rider, 25.780. Jared Meese, it's his race. He's back here in 9th, Tommy. What the heck is going on?
He'll be there. He'll be there at the end, but it's very cool to see Jared Vandekoy up there in number 1.
And 3 surprises, actually 2 surprises. Davis Fisher up there in 2nd, 26.064. But Fisher, I didn't know he liked the cushions, but looks like he's got something figured out on the 67 bike. Robinson sitting in 3rd. Man, we got a big night of racing. Did you go down to the Rookie Class 39 and see what they got going on, what Charlie's walking around selling right now?
That picture is awesome, huh?
Oh, my gosh. So it's got the old Indian Wrecking Crew. Was it Bobby Hill? I can't even think of everybody off the top of my head right now. And then he's got the new Indian Wrecking Crew when the Indian team came together, and they've all 6 signatures are on that thing. I heard one of those posters went for over $4,000.
Yeah, it's something to have for your man cave for sure.
Oh, my gosh. It's right there on screen right now. But you can see Brian Smith, Brad Baker, and Jared Meese right there all had signed it. And it's got the old Indian crew behind there. And I know Bobby Hill, Bill Tooman, Bobby Hill. There's one other I can't think of right now. But, man, I'm not supposed to buy tickets. I want that. I want that bad.
It's all the luck of the draw.
I know, but I'm not supposed to have any favorites, but I sure want myself to win. Up next, we have the AFT singles qualifying. This is the stacked class. I mean, there are so many riders that can win each and every round. There's a look at how we finished up here in the second round of practice. Vandekoy at the top spot. Fisher, if you want to look back through, look for your favorite rider. Robinson is 3rd. Breyer's back there 4th. Colby Carlisle's 5th. That's a good run for Colby. He likes this track, and it shows.
The Yamaha is hooking up.
Absolutely. Brandon Price in 6th, Bugs Pearson 7th, Bronson Bauman in 8th, Jared Meese is 9th, and Rispoli is in 10th. We have 11 entries today in the the Super Twins class. AFT singles class is what's coming up next. And Tommy, any one of these riders, I believe, there's at least 15 riders that can win that singles class each and every time they put their helmets on.
It's the talent pool is just so deep in this class. And before you'd look at the 450 class and say, oh, that's the feeder class to the production or to the Super Twins, but not anymore. It has just as much depth as any of the other 2 classes, and the boys are fast.
Yeah, so we're having some fun out here. You're from Ohio. Let's kind of turn ourselves this way, but we got some great racing all night long, and there's always loyal fans. Do you have a certain routine that you go through? Do you have a certain path that you have to go to say hi to everybody that hasn't seen you for a little while, or did you just make your whole way through the pits?
Yeah, we just go through the pits and got here a couple hours early so that before the guys and girls get their helmets on, get their race face, get to go in there and spend some time with the riders and spend some time with team owners and mechanics as well. So it was good just like family, man. It's just good to be back home again.
It's like a family reunion every weekend.
No doubt.
So not only do the champions get to design their own stuff, but like my grandfather, designed a ring for Graham.
Yeah.
For her birthday or for an anniversary, I can't even remember, but you do all kinds of stuff, and it's not just flat track stuff. You have, like I said, you have the Rolex watches, you have all kinds of jewelry. What's the easiest way to get a hold of you guys? Is on the website, or give you guys a call?
Just tdfj.com or Tom. You can spell it out, Tom Duma with Fine Jewelers, but TDFJ is the easiest way, and if you just hit contact right there on the website, all those emails come into my inbox personally, and then if it's racing family, we'll certainly take care of them personally.
And so you have twin boys. Are they still in the jewelry business, or have they moved on to do something else? What are they doing?
The boys are, both of them are designers, and they do a lot of editing and animation. And so, no, they both work for a tech company out of California, and so they're not with Pops right now.
So we mentioned the race family and how good it is to come back like a family reunion. How does it feel like when you go home and you think about your weekend? I mean, there's so much good stuff that happens out here.
There is, and I find myself going back and watching the broadcast again, and just to see what I missed. But there's nothing like being at the racetrack.
That's right. AFT Singles pulling onto the racetrack. It's group number 1 of their first round of qualifying. The times are being recorded right now. They're pulling onto the racetrack. The number 1 rider, Dallas Daniels, 18, Max Whale, 15, Mikey Rush, 17, Henry Wiles, 52, Shayna Texter Bauman, 13, Morgan Mishler, 105, Brandon Kitchen, 48 is Trent Lowe on the Suzuki, 21, Trevor Bruner, 51, Cole Zabala, 38, it's the Dean Machine, Tanner Dean, and the 19, James Ott from Simi Valley, California. Qualifying has begun right now. It's AFT Singles. They are up first. Production Twins will be following. Then our Mission Super Twins qualifying round number 1 is in store here at the Ohio National. There's a good look at Dallas Daniels, number 1 rider. I said he turned 16 and turned pro right after Lima. I was corrected by a couple people, and I look back at my notes. Dallas Daniels actually finished 11th the first time out here at the Lima, Ohio. It was his first ever national. He made the main and finished up in 11th at that first time out. That kid's on fire, man. He's leading the points again. It's a lot tighter battle than last year, though.
Yeah, I think for sure he's got his work cut out for him, but he certainly has the talent level to be able to pull it off.
So, red flag is coming out. Our hearing at least a yellow. There's a rider down in turn number 3. We're looking for him on the camera right now, but the red flag is being displayed. So we're looking for him. I don't see him in turn number 3. I can't see him from my point of view either. I'm in the Finding the Finish Community Center. What do you think of my office?
Oh, man, this office is awesome.
Well, I'm not going to take full credit. It's Raymond Rizzo's, but he's letting us borrow it for the weekend.
He's a good guy.
He's a great guy. So Raymond Rizzo is our traveling I don't know what just to call him. Minister, preacher, pastor. But he is the race. He's at all the races. He'll do our invocation. He's the assistant flagman right now too.
I see him out there doing double duty. But yes, certainly a pastor, because all the racers are like his congregation, and they all look up to him, and he's there for him.
Absolutely. So we appreciate him for letting us use it. Dale Jones trying to get him to fire back up. Let's go check in with Kristen Beat. Kristen, where are you at? What's happening outside? All right, we'll try to catch up with her again in just a moment. They're sending the singles out. I didn't see anybody fall off. I didn't see where the red flag came out, but they threw the red just for caution, just in case we didn't want to run over anybody. They must have got up and got going again pretty quickly because we're back at it. There's Max Whale. How about this kid from Australia? He's learned these tracks, and he looks really good out here in American Flat Track.
There's no doubt. I was watching him in the first practice session, and he was getting it.
Henry Wiles was on top of the top spot before the red flag came out. Wiles, 26.272. I told the fans before you came in here that he won here before in the Premier class, so Wiles definitely knows his way around this track. He won way back in 2010 on a Harley-Davidson.
I think he got... Did he get second with the Aprilia with the Lloyd brothers? Was it second?
Yep. Him and Sammy Halbert had a heck of a battle. Also, man, you got a memory like somebody else I know.
I was talking to David Lloyd earlier.
Okay.
I can't take all that credit.
There's the 15 and the 1, the 2 Estenson Monster Energy Yamaha Racing entries. The bright yellow on the helmet, that would be Mikey Rush. The other rider out there is Dallas Daniels, the 15 and the 1. When they go off the back straightaway, there's a little bump right there. Kevin Snyder sent me a text message. That's where the track crew goes across the racetrack. I've been here before for monster trucks and tractor pulls. That's where they cross the racetrack. So that's why there's a little bit harder surface right there as the white flag comes out. It's Bruner in the top spot. The Indiana rider goes to the head of the class here in qualifying round number 1. Maxwell second, Henry Wiles is third, Dallas Daniels is fourth. Right now is the last lap of group number 1. AFT Singles A little bit of dust coming up on the back straightaway outside by the edge of the fence. Don't see as much dust in the corners, and maybe they need to put a little bit more water on. Whoa, man, they're getting close to the fence off of turn number 2. And it bows out in a couple of spots. Checkered flag is out. 21, Trevor Bruner goes to the head of the class, 2.6.092, a little bit faster than they were in practice. There's a look at Shayna Texter-Bauman. She is back in the 11th spot right now, so she hasn't found her way just yet.
She'll get there.
She will. She goes good here. She's won here 2 times on the Factory Husqvarna and on the Red Bull KTM back in 2019. So they're doing their practice starts down there on the back straightaway once again. And up here in the booth is Tom Duma, Fine Jewelers. And the other member of one of the other members of our crew is down there trackside. Let's go check in with Kristen B. Kristen, how's it going out there?
Well, hey, Scotty. Hey, Tom. It's good to have you here in Lima with us. Something that I've noticed, just even in these opening stages of practice, I had to be reminded just how abrasive this roost can be. I even brought out my safety goggles this weekend. I've got my mask. I'm ready to go. But as beautiful as those rooster tails are, guys, they hurt. And I can only imagine if you're a rider having to kind of experience that from the back of the pack.
Kristen, it's called exfoliation. She's pat there right up against the fence. I don't think I'd want to stand there. No. But those fans, their fans are diehards. We saw them as I walked through the pit area. They block off their little spots to get as close to the fence. They want to be as close to the action as possible. I didn't like being behind anybody on a cushion track. No way.
No, that's the motivation to get out there, get the whole shot, so you don't have to be the one behind the roost.
But part of it is it makes for such good racing because you don't want to follow anybody on a track like this, right? I mean, that's why you look for a different way through the corners.
Absolutely. You could use it as a defense if you're out front.
Absolutely.
To use the roost.
All right, let's go trackside and meet the rock star of the family. He is down there. You've seen him on MTV on Headbangers Ball. Now he's been all over NASCAR, and now he's with us with American Flat Track. What's up, rock star Ricky Rackman?
Well, I really wish I would have gotten the memo that Kristen said about wearing the bandana around her head, because I said I would give you some airtime, and I will later today, but that doesn't mean you get to take all the airtime, okay? Dan Bromley being camera hog right now. So she told me about wearing the bandana, but nobody told me that. I also learned today, don't stand outside of the track, and when you're happy to be here, which of course I'm happy to be here, don't smile, because it would be really easy to lose a tooth with this pea gravel, because it's hard, and it's like the shape of peas, and they're rocks. They're hard rocks.
Hey, Ricky, welcome to Lima.
You know what? You guys have been telling me, Scotty, you and Kristen and Brad have been saying, dude, wait till you get to Lima. I'm on Facebook all the time on the American Flat Track page, and I have communications with a lot of people there and saying, when you finally go to Lima, it's going to take it to a new level, and it really has. And the fans here are great, and I can just, there's something you can feel about the energy that, that this night's really going to be incredible, and I love it. And the roost, I was watching one of the first rounds of Super Twins practice, and these people are getting covered. You can't see a thing. Visibility. I thought OKC was bad. It's going to be even rougher for these people to see at Lima tonight.
Absolutely. Got to have plenty of tear-offs on your helmet. You got to be ready to go. But the people just lying around the outside of the fence, man, and those are diehard flat track fans, right?
Yeah, they get here early so they can get that spot right there.
Absolutely.
On the corner.
Ricky Rackman, he went down there. He's been checking all the fried foods. They got the event T-shirts just outside the grandstands over there. Stop by and check them out while you can. They got a couple of different Lima, Ohio National shirts. I like when he was giving Dan Bromley a hard time. He had to sit down with him. We'll see that a little bit later on. So how hard is it for you, Tommy, to sit at home and watch all the races? I get lucky enough to go to every race, and you text me at every race because you miss it, right?
Oh, I do. I wish I could just get out there and go to every race, but maybe in another couple of years when I can slow down a little bit.
A couple more years, man. What's wrong with next year?
There's a thing called debt. You got to pay the bills.
I got you. All right. Up next is our second group, AFT singles, first round of qualifying, but the second group will be coming to the racetrack. Number 99, Kevin Stallings. 143, Cody Kopp. 124, Hunter Bauer made it up there towards the front last weekend at OKC. I had him on my podcast this week, Off the Groove podcast. 94, Ryan Wells. 26, Aiden Roos-Evans. We saw Bromley sneak up and try to get into camera view, and I think Ricky's found him again. This is probably one of the tallest guys in our sport. He's hanging out. Ricky Rackman, did you find Bromley again?
I did. People don't realize I'm actually 6 feet tall, so this guy's huge. What does it feel like out there? I mean, we know the pea gravel is tough, but how does it feel when you're out there riding?
It's pretty gnarly, you know. When you're out there and you see someone get by, or if someone gets in front of you and you're behind them, it'll pretty much stop you in your tracks. I barely got to feel it when Ben came right by me, and it pretty much stopped me and covered my whole bike. I tried to get away from it, but you can't get away from it here. That's what Lima's all about, just getting covered in roost and having some fun.
But you know how to avoid getting roosted, right?
Oh yeah, my plan today is just get out front and try not get any roost.
Okay, Dan Bromley, rider the number 62.
He's got the plan. Get a hole shot. Get out front. It's group number 2, AFT Singles. The time to beat, 26.092. Anybody in this group you're keeping your eye on out here, Tommy?
Hunter. I like him. I think
Dude,
he's
impressive.
coming into his own, and plus a lot of the tracks up in Canada are very similar to this. And so I'm anxious to see how he does here today.
And he's on a good team, NKR Canada team. That's Nicky. They teamed up with the Waters Auto Body KTM team. They're from up there by Medina, New York.
Yep.
They're used to these kind of racetracks. They had a few mechanical issues with their other bike, Aiden Roos-Evans on the 26. That's who's on the screen right now. Aiden should do good here as well.
He was running great in the first practice as well. I was watching him. He had a good time.
Trevor Bruner still in the top spot here in qualifying, 26.092. We'll refresh it. Looks like the 143 out there is Cody Kopp. Cody has moved up to the 8th position. Kopp won out here a couple months ago. There was an RPM race. It was amateurs and a few pros, and Cody Kopp spanked him in the singles class. Actually beat some of the twins as well in that open pro class.
Yeah, he'll be one to watch for sure today.
Which really surprises me. His dad, Joe Kopp, went good on the cushion. They're both from Micah, Washington. There's no cushions out there, so some people adapt to it quickly, and some people, struggle with it. I did not do good on cushions ever.
I remember watching Cody at Greenville probably 3-4 years ago. I think he was 14 years old and just getting it.
Absolutely. We're taking a look at the 175 Terran Santero right beside him, the 26 Aiden Roos-Evans. Roos-Evans has moved himself up the leaderboard, actually to 12. Another rider goes on by. We got a rider down the back straightaway. Rider down on the back straightaway coming off of turn number 2. Everybody's trying to miss him. Looks like it might be the 11. Andrew Luker going down off of turn number 2. They were coming to the checkered flag. Luker, when we came off of 2, Tommy, that fence comes up really quickly.
Yeah, he just got up. It looked like his back end came around and hit the fence, and it pushed him back the other way, and he went over to high side.
I think it's better that the back wheel hits that fence than your handlebars, though, because that could turn your front wheel into the fence. So they're shutting them down. The red flag's out there. Red lights all the way around the racetrack. Here's the replay. Oh, he's way up in the fence, up and early. Oh, man, up and over. That's a hard ride right there. That is the 11 of Andrew Luker he was up in the deep stuff before he got onto the straightaway. So I thought it was at the exit of the straightaway, and that will end qualifying group number 2. So right now we got one more group to go in our first round of qualifying. Still Bruner in the top spot, Maxwell on the 18 in second. Dustin Brown sitting back there third. Henry Wiles is 4th. Dallas Daniels is 5th. Brandon Kitchen 6th. Mikey Rush, Cody Kopp, Morgan Mishler, Andrew Luker. Looks like they're going to give him one more lap. Again, they have to make it fair because 5 laps for all the competitors. And if you think about it, Tommy, 5 laps of practice, 10 laps of qualifying, and then we get set for racing. So every lap is important, even if they go out there for just one quick burner when that track's clear. But that could be their fastest lap.
Exactly. Yeah, they can regroup here during that. And with Andrew, sometimes when you get stuck up there in the cushion, you can't steer out of it, and it just keeps dragging you higher and higher and higher.
It sucked him up the racetrack into the fence, and he was in the deep cushion just before he even came off the corner, so he must have got up there a little bit deep in the middle of turn number 2. The rest of the riders have moved to the hot and the cold box. You can see some of them showing what happens and what's going on. Tear-offs, vision, going to be important. It's been a minute since you've strapped on a bunch of tear-offs on a helmet, but how many tear-offs do you think you can put on there? You think you can have enough?
Yeah, you try to get one for every lap back in our day, but now that they're making them a lot thinner, I'm pretty sure you can stack enough on there for a whole race.
Are they thinner or just our eyes are getting better so they look thinner?
They could be.
All right, so we don't know exactly, but they'll put on as many tear-offs as possible. Let's go trackside one more time and talk to Kristen Beat.
I'm standing by with Chris Cox of American Honda. It's so cool to have you guys out here. What do you make of the American Flat Track Series and the racing we've seen so far?
Well, we've had a good experience helping support this series. It's really been growing. We love it. We have our 450 riders out there really showing the Honda horsepower, and it's just been a great experience for us all. These are our riders, especially the spectators are all our customers. We hope that appreciate what these riders are doing out there, and we do too.
Well, thank you so much for joining us this weekend, and I hope you enjoy all the racing. If there was any track or race to go to, I think Lima might be the one.
Totally agree with Kristen down there. American Honda helping out. They send out the Honda Talon to help put some rubber down. It's also out here to give some VIPs the treatment around the racetrack. Rusev is trying to wave everybody by. Nobody wants to go, but it's going to be a quick lap. I guess they get one more lap on the clock, so come around next time, get the green, and come around next time, probably get the checkered. Tape up. You tape up as much stuff as you can, especially if you got a nice paint job on your bike or on your helmet. You tape them up as much as you can. You used to do that, right?
Right. Well, yeah. I had to get on Charlie Roberts. I seen a poster. He had all the tape on his Bultaco. I said, just get out there and go out front. That way you don't have to waste all that duct tape.
He raced last night down in Greenville, Ohio. They're also racing tomorrow in Greenville. Non-national, of course. This is American Flat Track. Look at that guy pull the front wheel. That second rider right there pulled the front wheel over that bump, and now he goes up to the high side. Is that Hunter Bauer? It looks like it is Bauer. The 124 is trying the high line. Just like you said, Tommy, these are tracks just like what he grew up on. His closest track is Welland, which is a groove track, but all the rest of the tracks up there are cushion tracks. And that is quick. One quick lap, man. That your heart gets going again, and then you shut it down. But I liked what 124 just did on that bump on the back straightaway. It looks like he pulled the front wheel to get up and over that bump and then get those wheels back on the ground. So they were told in the riders' meeting that they can stop and do a practice start on the back straightaway, keep it off of the racing line. So you can see him pulling on there. Cody Kopp locks his front wheel locked down, just like the Supercross guys do, to get a good drive, put all the weight on that rear wheel, and get the whole shot, because it's very important. You don't want to be behind in the roost for sure.
No, you want to get out there, get out front, and go as quick as you can. Get out of the roost and set your lines up.
So as a sponsor, is it fair for you to have a favorite rider, or you just like them all? I mean, I'm putting you on the spot.
No, I like them all. It's the nice thing for me, I wish I had a huge race budget so that I could help lots of racers, but when we came back and decided to do the awards at the end of the year, it was a way for me to feel like I can give to everybody, or everybody has a chance, to get the reward, to get the rings. And so that's our way to get back. And I know how hard each and every one of these racers, no matter what class they're in, how hard they work to get to this level. And so, I admire each and every one of them.
Absolutely. So I think you got to sponsor an announcer and just let me wear that watch for a few more rounds, I think.
Well, did you tell a story? That was back several years ago, probably 5 years now, when we were given Rolex watches. And I wanted Scotty to wear it so he could talk about it, and he wore it.
I wore it for about a month.
Because I left and forgot my watch.
I loved it. All right, so some of the riders are out there battling adversity. Last week, Chad Coast broke his primary bike on night number 1. He is standing by with Kristen Beat.
And night number 2, a huge rebound for Chad Coast to come back. And Tom Engelhart, you are being reunited with him this weekend. And he, for you, is not just a friend, not just a mechanic, but he helps you maintain some stability in the pits. How nice is it to have him back here at Lima?
Oh, it's awesome. Like you said, he means a lot to me. He probably knows me better than just about anybody in the world. So it's great to have him back. We definitely need to start reeling off some race wins, so I couldn't have anybody better in my corner to help me do it, kind of help me get back on track. And yeah, hopefully we can get this Harley-Davidson XG 750 to the front, and if anybody can do it, it'll be Tom.
Chad, best of luck out there. We'll let you go as you're getting ready and getting set to get out on track. Scotty, what do you make of Chad Coast's story this year?
Well, Chad's been kind of doing it on his own. He's got, he's had different bikes. He's had to jump on a backup bike last weekend after breaking his primary bike. I like his determination. I like his drive. But a man by himself in a van, it's the old school, like we did, Tommy, privateer. When I raced, it was me and my dad. Some people do it by themselves, and now he's got Tom Engelhart teamed back up with them. I think that's going to help not only his confidence, but it's going to free him up to go watch the races or go rest for a minute instead of having to hop off the bike, do some work on the bike, get back on the bike. What do you think?
It's tough, just being mentally prepared not having to worry about the bike or the gearing of the tires and all the setup and that whatnot. So yeah, doing it all is tough.
I didn't even recognize Tom Englehart. Did you see him in the pits? He
Yeah,
shaved his
the beard.
So
Yeah.
his beard was down to his belly button. And I said, why did you shave? He said, I turned 50. I was like, so when you turned 50, you found a razor? I mean, I didn't understand the reasoning there, but he turned 50, shaved off his beard.
Yeah, I seen that on social media. It was pretty cool.
Absolutely. Man, we're just having some fun up here in the Finding the Finish Community Center. This is where we do have, chapel service at the racetrack because our flat track family doesn't always make it home to go to their church of their choice. So Raymond Rizzo does help out. And like I said, he's the assistant flagman right now, so he's letting us use his trailer. Hopefully he's here for the rest of the night. But let's go down with another rider who had some tough luck last week trying to turn it around. He was quickest in practice. Ryan Barnes down there with Kristen Beat.
Just as you said, Scotty, trying to turn it around. Ryan, quickest in practice today. But, I mean, how disappointing is it when you get out there and you have all that momentum to have to walk away from what could have been a great night for you in Oklahoma City?
Yeah, it's pretty hard. I think that's the first time that ever happened to me, too. We sit on pole for the main and don't even get a lap to show what we're made of and show that we can battle for the top spot. And it's pretty disappointing after that weekend. And we're just coming out this weekend. We're down to one bike now and just trying to do our best. And we're hungry, We just haven't really been on it too much this season and just finally felt the momentum picking back up at Oklahoma, and then just to have those two mechanicals happen, it's just really hard as a rider. So we're out here giving our best today. We got one bike, and we're hoping it works out well and giving it our all.
Guys, I would love to keep talking to Ryan Barnes, even though there are bikes out on track. Ryan, from your time out on track so far, what have you noticed? How is the track changing, and how is it different than in years past when you've raced here in Lima?
Yeah, the weather's a little bit different today. I think it's helping out a little bit with this overcast, and luckily there's a nice breeze in there too. Usually when you come to Lima every year, it's the hottest race of the year, and it's just miserable for these riders to be in these leathers all day and stuff. But track's pretty good right now. Jared Mees does a good job of keeping the track well prepped for us in between rounds, so it should be a good one today.
Ryan, thanks so much for your time. I'm going to let you get to your bike. Scotty?
Group number 3, first round of qualifying for the singles. 133, David Wiggin. 135, Ezra Brusky. 243, it's the Jet, Jared Lowe. 298, Trent Pickle, Sweet Heat from Canada. The 109, Billy the Kid, Billy Ross, Jordan Jeans on the 156. Ian Wolf was fast in practice. 157, 101, Grant Holmes from California. 121, Jacob Cassio. 107, Blake Steinwagner. And the 75, Blake Lomas. It is group number 3. See if anybody can get up there and challenge the 21s for the quick time right now, 26.092. They got good battles going on the racetrack. Tommy, it's time to lay down your fastest lap, but you're also working on passing points.
Working on that as well as trying to figure out what line to take. Lots of different options out there.
If you think about it, this is the first time out for Lima for a lot of these kids, especially in group number 3, because they don't have a lot of experience or they just turned pro. And there wasn't an amateur race at this racetrack until 2 months ago, since 1984 is what I was told. So a lot of these kids out here right now, it's their first time ever at the Lima, Ohio half mile.
And I'll bet you they've got a smile from ear to ear underneath that helmet.
Unless you don't like pea gravel.
This is true.
Checkered flag is out, group number 3. I don't see any changes on the leaderboard. Taking a look all the way back to about the 11th. Actually, Billy Ross all the way up the 109s up to 15th. He was in this group. He was the fastest on the track right now, the 109. Billy the Kid, Billy Ross from Michigan. Michigan riders seem to go good on pea gravel as well.
Right, yeah, they grew up on pea gravel and close to Ohio.
So Trevor Bruner at the top spot. All right, so we got a lot going on the racetrack. That's it for our first round of qualifying for the AFT singles. Breaking the action up next, Production Twins qualifying. But first, let's go down to Vendor Row. There's a lot of food down there. Ricky Rackman was live on Facebook earlier and was telling everybody what he's getting ready to eat. Ricky, what's going on down there in Vendor Row?
Well, before we go to that, I got to say one more thing that I'm just always happy to see Trevor Bruner so fast out there after what happened to him last weekend at OKC. It just says so much about all the safety innovations that American Flat Track is using these days. But let's talk about something that I know a little bit more about, and that's stuffing my big mouth. And there's so much food here, and this is all healthy, all gluten-free. We see apple dumplings with ice cream, a pizza burger. Now, a lot of people on the American Flat Track Facebook page said, Ricky, you got to eat a pizza burger. Here we have s'mores, fried brownies, deep fried cookies, because cookie isn't enough. A deep fried cookie, funnel cakes, elephant ears. If you've never had a deep fried Snicker bar, you're probably healthy. Now, this is the question I have, okay? Because I am from Southern California, we don't usually eat stuff like deep fried butter. And I asked the gentleman that works back here, I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't know what this stuff. What is deep fried butter? And he says, well, you take a stick of butter and then you deep fry it. So I'm still looking at the American Flat Track Facebook page. I don't know if I'm going to try the deep fried butter, but I'm open to your suggestions. The s'mores look pretty good. Oh, it's not just s'mores. It's deep fried here. They'll take deep fry batter here. So that's some of the fine dining you can have at Lima, and I'm ready.
Well, I wish I could get out there. I'm stuck in the Finding the Finish Community Center, clear on the other side of the track. So Ricky's going to have to eat some food for me. Tommy, what's your favorite go-to food when you come to the Ohio National here at Lima?
It's always a burger, track burger.
All right. I like it. Stacy Cooper, who is Andrew Luker's mom, said you also designed her engagement ring.
I did, yes.
Man, you've designed a lot of people's rings, right?
Nicole and Jared.
I married them.
That's right.
Yeah.
I was there.
I officiated. I always say I married them. It kind of sounds funny, but I officiated the wedding. Is that more appropriate?
Yeah, I think that's very cool. We call you pastor too.
Exactly, ordained minister, whatever you want to call me. So, no, I just love helping out, with the sport, and so do you too. So We're going to take a quick break, and we come back. Up next is AFT Production Twins qualifying right here from Lima, Ohio.
Hey, is that your stomach growling? Or the sound of thousands of cc's circling the track? Fuel up for race day with Mission Foods. Rev those taste buds with fast and easy-to-create recipes that are Winner's Circle delicious. Try some of our mouth-watering tacos to piled high nachos, fresh chips with guac, and more. Start those engines, because Mission has you covered from the green flag to the checkered flag. Now that's too fast, too tasty.
Tired of replacing your battery every year? It's time to buy the world's best lithium battery, the Pulse IPT. With up to 1,200 cranking amps and unmatched reliability, there's no better battery for your bike. Visit Full Spectrum Power in the paddock today, or on Instagram, Facebook, and the web. Start something. Power everything.
Race fans, VP Racing Fuels offers a full line of power sports fuels, lubricants, coolants, and appearance products for track and street. From pro racers to weekend warriors, we help riders make more power. Ask your local power sports dealer. Whelen designs and manufactures reliable and powerful warning lights, white illumination lighting, sirens, controllers, and high-powered warning systems for various industries worldwide. Every part of every Whelen product is proudly designed and manufactured in America. On the road, in the air, and around the world, Whelen is trusted to be seen, trusted to be heard, trusted to perform. The rookies of '79 are former racers and champions of the sport who reunited in 2009 to form the official charity for American Flat Track. 10 years and over $1.7 million raised for our injured racers. Visit rookies79.com to see how you can help.
S&S Cycle was born from a passion for racing and has spent over 60 years building high performance for the power sports market. All the while, racing has remained at our core, from the Bonneville Salt Flats to championships in progressive American flat track. S&S is the go-to for high performance on and off the racetrack.
And welcome back to the Ohio National, the last Saturday in June. We know we're racing here in Lima. It's Jared and Nicole Meese's race. How cool is it for a racer to promote a race? Your good friend Ronnie Jones did that back at OKC on the half mile.
And that was the time he won everything, right?
He had his cake and he ate it too.
That's right.
Back when Camel was involved, he won the fast qualifier, the Camel, this heat race, the Camel Challenge, and the main event. And somebody put a big cake in his face. There's the Springer man, Jay Springsteen on hand. I see you, Jay. He doesn't hear us. Oh, bikes are already rolling on the racetrack. Yeah, he does. There he is. There's the Springer man. Jay Springsteen, number 9 in your program, number 1 in your heart. 43 Grand National wins for the Springer man. He won his 43rd win when he's 43 years young. Production Twins, number 65, Corey Texter. 79, Dalton Gauthier. 62 is Dan the Man, Dan Bromley. 49, Chad Coase. 25 is Ben Lau. 44, Cam Smith. 68, Barnes. 64, Danny Eslick on the Triumph Bonneville. And the 31, it's Dylan Bell. Bell actually was disqualified last week. I didn't want to bring it up, but his rear wheel was too heavy. He had too much rear wheel weight.
I didn't hear
that. Let's talk about rear wheel weight. A heavier rear wheel, less wheel spin is what I was told. So that's why he was running that on that track. Would you want a heavy rear wheel here?
I would think. When I was walking through the pits earlier today, I seen a lot of heavy wheels sitting there, so I don't know if that's what they're going to end up running, but I'm sure that some of them are trying.
Dalton Gauthier reaches up, grabs the tear off. I think, the easiest place is when you're on the straightaway. Worst case scenario, sometimes you might have to reach up and grab one in the corner, right? I mean, you don't want to do that.
No, but if you can't see, you've got no choice but to take that hand off the handlebar and find your tear off.
All right, so this is the first round of qualifying for the production twins. Fastest in practice was the 68 of Ryan Barnes, 26.342. And right now, fastest so far is Chad Coase. The 49, Chad Coase, goes up to the top spot with a 26.491. Again, this is qualifying. There's a look at Dan Bromley, the 62 bike. Dan, the man, showing the way on the 62 bike. He's up there in the 5th spot right now. 79, Gauthier goes way up against the fence on the back straightaway. There's Dan Bromley again. Kind of doing things himself this year. He's on a Yamaha. His future brother-in-law is his mechanic. Did you know that?
I did.
Yeah, Nick Henderson. White flag is out.
It's good to see Cam Smith up there as well.
He got his first career podium last week.
I know. It was very cool.
He was so quiet. I think he was in shock. Really, I do. Chad, no, that's the 79. Dalton Gauthier goes to the high side going around Corey Texter. Corey's just not up to speed yet. His times aren't that far off, but he's back there in about the 7th position. He's our points leader. He told me yesterday he does not like racing this racetrack.
Yeah, but he's a champion, so he's going to figure it out.
Absolutely. So qualifying round number 1 here for the production twins. Chad Coase at the top spot, the 49 bike. 26.491. 26.491 is a little bit slower than they were in practice. Varnes is second, 26.511. So just, 2/10, almost hundredths of a second off right there between first and second. Ben Lau is in third. Cameron Smith fourth. Dan Bromley fifth. Gauthier, Texter, Dylan Bell, and Danny Eslick again making that maiden voyage on that Triumph. He's on the Bonneville Performance Triumph. Bill Gately Weisco on the sponsor list for that Triumph. It's good to see him back at the racetrack, as well as the Gateleys. It's good to see them back at the track,
too. It's good to see
too.
another brand back in the mix again.
Absolutely. That's group number 1 just finishing up. AFT Production Twins presented by Vance and Hines class. They'll do a little track maintenance after every time they go out onto the racetrack. All right, so Ricky Rackman still roaming around down there at Vendor Row. Now it looks like he made his way to a couple. Ricky, where are you at now?
I'm on Vendor Row, and seeing some of these motorcycles, like I said, I grew up in Southern California. We used to all get our Harleys fixed at Bartell's, which was so heavily involved in flat track racing. And I'm seeing so many bikes from different eras, like this 1980 Harley XR 750, and there's a 41 Indian Scout, and there's some cool Hondas over there. There's just some cool bikes from Flat Tracks Pass, and that's one of the things that really attracted me to American flat track racing, is that, they say it's America's first extreme sport. It is. And to be honest, this bike is from the 80s, and the motorcycles haven't changed aesthetically that much from when they first started flat track racing. These bikes today look a lot like the bikes that we had, back in the 80s and even before that.
Absolutely. That XR is beautiful right there.
It is.
19J. Maybe you should put your helmet on and take it for a few laps, Ricky.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Why not? You ride all across the country. You've been to every state but 2.
I did go to Moto Anatomy, and I did go to flat track school. But if you ever saw that, I've ridden coast to coast 14 times on a motorcycle, and the one time I hit a gravel driveway, it was not a good sight, so no, I'm not. But I would love to ride a bike like this. I think it'd be so cool.
We definitely need to make that happen. I like that old Indian right there. That Indian is about as old as me. It's from 1941.
Yeah, right.
Man.
How would you like to ride on that single seat like that, though?
No, thank you. No suspension, no rear brakes. Back when flat track started, there was no brakes, Ricky. There's, it has came a long ways, but they do look a lot like that 19J bike right there.
That's the greatest thing about it. You look at some of the bikes, and I love walking through, and I look at the Indians, I look at the Harleys, and they haven't changed that much. Obviously, there's a lot of safety things that have changed, but if you look at it, one of the biggest safety changes is like the rider suits. They've got pretty much airbags in their leather jackets. And but the way that the bikes look, it's still got that old school feel, and that's one of the things that really attracts me to this sport.
I just got a message that 19J XR750 is my dad's old bike.
No.
Yeah. So it's coming in. They're sending me his name. I want to give him the proper shout out. But Mark Davidson, that is his old bike, and that is a message from Brett Bigelow, which is actually Brian Bigelow's wife. So how about that?
That just made it so much cooler. That's awesome.
Heck yeah. So
did you say the Springer's walking around?
Yeah, he saw us. I gave him a shout out, and he threw up the peace sign onto the camera. He heard me give him a shout out. That's like a bike you used to race, right, Tommy? The XR750, just like that.
Exactly like that. 77, 78, 79.
So
and they didn't change much at all.
All right, Ricky, I'm jealous. You get to go hang around down there. You get to eat all the fried food. Second group getting ready to roll onto the racetrack for the AFT Production Twins presented by Vance and Hines class. I can't wait till Ricky goes to the rookie class 79. I want to see that poster again. Johnny Lewis will lead out the next group. Pat Buchanan will be out there on a Harley XG 750. Casey Sisko's on the 161. Jimmy McAllister on the 50 bike. 223, Jeffrey Lowry, another Ohio rider. Brandon Newman made his debut on a production twin last week. Had mechanicals. He was riding around the parking lot. They think they've got it fixed. 117, Jordan Harris. The 22 is Mitch Harvitt. And the longest name in flat track, the 30 bike, Brock Schwarzenbacher. Really cool. Ricky's still goo-goo and gaga over that motorcycle. We hear you, Ricky. Are you drooling over there? He's still talking. He's having some fun. All right, they're lining them up. So here we go with our second group here. Ricky, are you still? What's he doing?
Sorry, I didn't know. I didn't realize I was on. Here, Todd, I'm still on. Sorry, I didn't know. I got some bad news. They're sold out of deep fried butter. They're sold out of s'mores.
Oh, my.
They're sold out of. All they have is funnel cakes.
You're not supposed to eat them all, Ricky.
Yeah, well, they don't have any of those, and I'm a little bit crabby right now.
All right. Well, go check out the rookie class 79, see what they got. All right. We'll send him back to work on the pit mic down there. We're back on the racetrack. Production Twins. Second group qualifying round number one. Johnny Lewis on that Royal Enfield. That has been impressive.
Yeah, I love that motorcycle. David Lloyd and Woody Kyle have come a long way with that production bike.
All right. So Breanne Poland is watching from the wilderness of Alaska. I was told to watch out for the moose up there in Alaska. Bree is she's obviously watching the number 10 right here, the Royal Enfield. She is in charge of marketing for the Americas, which is not just North America, South America, but she's all over right now. She's up in Alaska. Watching her ride at number 10, Johnny Lewis. Let's see how he can qualify today.
He looked good in first session.
Absolutely. Fastest guy. Let me see here. Let me look at the timing charts. I'm just hearing from the truck right now. Fastest guy is the 10 bike, Johnny Lewis, 2:06.45. I already wrote down Chad Coase. I mean, I didn't expect nobody was going to beat that time. Johnny Lewis to the top spot on the Royal Enfield, 2:06.456. Now even faster the last lap by for the 10 bike. They said they were having trouble getting parts. They didn't want to risk it at the OKC mile. They're saving it for the Ohio National. I think that was a good choice because he looks really good today.
Oh, for sure. Johnny likes this track.
There's a couple of privateers at the back. Jimmy McAllister on the 50 bike. The minor out there, the 117, Jordan Harris on the River Rat Cycle Fabrication motorcycle, number 117, Jordan Harris. They got a couple of Kawasaki's back there. I love the bright green out there. I mean, Kawasaki.
Can't miss it.
It screams Kawasaki. This is our first round of qualifying production twins. After this, we're going to send out the Honda Talon to take a few laps. Some VIPs are going to get a few laps around the Allen County Fairgrounds. There's a look at Johnny Lewis. He just looks like he's riding that thing hard. You can see he's got hand guards on, twisting the throttle. He put his feet on the pegs. He told me he felt more comfortable in turns 1 and 2 than he did in 3 and 4. What do you think about that? I mean, it looks the same to me, Tommy. It's been a long time since we raced here, but
it has been a long time.
But they look the same on both ends. But he said it's definitely different down there in 3 and 4.
Huh? Yeah, I didn't get a chance to go down and look at 1 and 2. I know 3 and 4 were where I was standing. Looked the same. Looked good.
Checkered flag is out. Johnny Lewis is our fast qualifier right now after round number 1. They'll take the fastest time from round 1 and round number 2. That will be how they get qualified for their semifinals. Johnny Lewis at the top spot. Chad Coase is second. Ryan Varnes is third. Ben Lau is fourth. Cam Smith fifth on his Yamaha. And you talked about him a minute ago. He's looking just like he did at Oklahoma City, looking strong.
I think once that confidence, once you get on that podium, you get that monkey off your back, you know you can do it. You think you can do it, then you know you can do it, and I think it just gets easier from there.
I got an idea.
What's that?
Why don't you go out there and ride around the Honda Talon?
I did that 2 years ago.
Really?
2019.
Here?
Yeah, here.
What's that like?
Oh, it was crazy. I was watching the speedometer the whole time. We hit 80 mile an hour on the back straightaway, and Al Lamb was driving that time, and he just pitched it right into 3. It was like, oh, buddy, hold on.
Richie Morris drives it now, and he's going to go out there here in just a second. The beautiful brand new Honda Talon, the 22 bike looks like he's pushing back in. He fell off yesterday at Greenville, but he's all right. He's out here. Here's a look at the top 10 after the first round of qualifying. Johnny Lewis, the Royal Enfield, at the top spot. Chad Cosen second on a Harley. Kawasaki in third. How about the diversity? A couple of Yamahas back there, 5th and 6th. I mean, any brand of bike can win this class, it looks like.
That's the beauty of the production twins.
Absolutely. So they're going to send the Honda Talon out. Up next, when we get back to the competition on the racetrack, it will be the Mission Super Twins qualifying their round number 1. And here comes that Honda Talon, the side-by-side, probably the most anticipated side-by-side to ever come out. It is built in the United States in Florence, South Carolina, available in 2-seats or 4-seat models, probably the most anticipated side-by-side. I just said that. 1,000cc Talon-specific high-output engine, quick-shifting automatic DCT transmission, exclusive 4-wheel drive technology, Fox Q35, manual adjustable suspension, and nobody does it like Honda.
Yeah.
Tommy rode in this in one of those 2 years ago, Brad. Well, Brad's not here. I was talking to my imaginary friend, Brad. He'll be here in a minute. Talk about Brad Baker.
The bullet.
They're talking to us in the truck right now. Want to know if they won't take me for a ride in it. I can't mess up my hair. I can't mess up my hair, and I don't want to put my helmet on. Yeah, it's not in my contract.
I had to put long pants on because I had my shorts on. And I had to put a jacket on. Yeah.
So are you all healed up and good now?
I am healed up.
No more motocross?
No more motocross.
Okay, good.
Got to lose some weight. Got the COVID-20 or whatever it is.
All right, so there's the Honda Talon taking a few laps. We're coming back in just a little bit. When we come back to Ohio, Mission Super Twins qualifying round number 1 up next in Lima.
The darkness is full of demons, hazy creatures who lurk in the shadows, prowling under the cloak of dusk. But we're not demons. We're beasts.
Cometic Gasket is the official gasket of Progressive American Flat Track. For decades, Progressive American Flat Track champions have depended on Cometic to seal their engines. Cometic gaskets are the professional standard for racers who demand the very best. For more information, log on to Cometic.com. Cometic Gasket, sealing championship since 1989. Drag Specialties welcomes race fans. At Drag Specialties, our commitment to riding is a way of life. That's why we want to remind you that when you're ready to tackle maintenance or add performance and style to your ride, make your first stop a local dealer who stocks products from Drag Specialties. Drag Specialties. Enjoy the races.
Hey, is that your stomach growling? Or the sound of thousands of cc's circling the track? Fuel up for race day with Mission Foods. Rev those taste buds with fast and easy-to-create recipes that are Winner's Circle delicious. Try some of our mouth-watering tacos to piled high nachos, fresh chips with guac, and more. Start those engines, because Mission has you covered from the green flag to the checkered flag. Now that's too fast, too tasty.
Tired of replacing your battery every year? It's time to buy the world's best lithium battery, the Pulse IPT, with up to 1,200 cranking amps and unmatched reliability. There's no better battery for your bike. Visit Full Spectrum Power in the paddock today or on Instagram, Facebook, and the web. Start something. Power everything.
Race fans, VP Racing Fuels offers a full line of power sports fuels, lubricants, coolants, and appearance products for track and street. From pro racers to weekend warriors, we help riders make more power. Ask your local power sports dealer. Whelen designs and manufactures reliable and powerful warning lights, white illumination lighting, sirens, controllers, and high-powered warning systems for various industries worldwide. Every part of every Whelen product is proudly designed and manufactured in America. On the road, in the air, and around the world, Whelen is trusted to be seen, trusted to be heard, trusted to perform. The rookies of '79 are former racers and champions of the sport who reunited in 2009 to form the official charity for American Flat Track. 10 years and over $1.7 million raised for our injured racers. Visit rookies79.com to see how you can help.
S&S Cycle was born from a passion for racing and has spent over 60 years building high performance for the power sports market. All the while, racing has remained at our core, from the Bonneville Salt Flats to championships in progressive American flat track. S&S is the go-to for high performance on and off the racetrack.
And welcome back to the Ohio County, the Allen County Fairgrounds. I'm talking about jewelry up here. I'm trying to get this Rolex from Tommy, and he just told me they're worth about 30 grand. Yeah. I'd have to get rid of my house. Ow. No, we're having some fun up here. Man, you also said some other flat trackers are driving the trucks around the track?
We got Mike DeWeese and Jim Osborne, two little dirt trackers, Ohio dirt trackers that are out there, part of Steve Moorhead's track crew. Yeah.
That's awesome. Awesome. All right, let's take a look back at last weekend. We're at the OKC Mile, my hometown, and we had a good race on the OKC Mile. Let's check it out. Mission Super Twins class. Here's a look at the replay. Vandekoy's on the inside. Got the whole shot on the outside, though. Jared Meese will take him in the first corner after he gets by. Makes short time right here. Vandekoy starts pulling away. The OKC Mile was a great race. It was much better the second night, and Meese definitely put his head down. He wanted to win the OKC Mile for the fourth time, and he did.
He did it, no doubt.
Stretching out the lead. Robinson's been probably the hottest rider on the circuit. He's moved up to second right there. And here comes Breyer, our points leader. Breyer hasn't won for a little bit, but he's Mr. Consistency. He hasn't had to battle any, injuries, any problems, any mechanicals, and Breyer's right there. He's closing in right there on the 44 as the double checker flags. Look at Meese just coasting across the line to the double checker flags. Robinson's second. Here comes Breyer with third. So the top three are the top three in the points, and they've all won here at the Ohio National. We'll see if who can win out here today, or will it be somebody new. Vandekoy was quickest in our practice session. There's a look at the cowboy hats, the beautiful trophies. That was last weekend at the OKC Mile. And now we're going down to the Mission tent. It looks like Ricky Rackman found some more food. Surprise, surprise.
You just reminded me that Tommy Duma has a good line on watches, and I just want to tell you, you're doing a really, really good job up there, okay? Let me also talk about Mission. First of all, I'm glad that Mission is here because we've got Mission chips galore, but they've also got the Mission Challenge, and that happens every night. And that's where you take the top two qualifiers from the Super Twins semis, we put them out on the track, 4 laps, and the winner gets $5 grand. B-Rob so far has won it 3 times, so already he's made $15,000 in the Mission Challenge. That's one more aspect of the 2021 American Flat Track season that I think is just really exciting, and that's going to be coming up a little later tonight, the Mission Challenge.
I think B-Rob's standing right over your right shoulder right now, the other side.
He is, but he's got very little to say. I think he's organized, and you know what? He's very one-dimensional too, right?
Oh, yeah, but he looks like he likes what you're saying.
Yes, much larger than Breyer Bauman actually is.
Oh, our points leader's down there hanging out with Brandon Robinson. Robinson has won 3 times. Three. Oh, there's Shayna.
Somebody folded Jared Meese's head back,
oh,
which is not the right thing to do at the race that he's promoting. And first of all, Jared Nicole really did an awesome job. I mean, they were working so hard making sure that this track is perfect and all the facilities, and they've really done a great job for this event tonight.
Absolutely. They did a wonderful job out here. It's the last Saturday in June. We raced out here in Ohio. They got the shirts down there at the American Flat Tracker booth. Anyone but Meese. Have you seen that, Tommy?
I did. I heard that Jared gets $5 per shirt.
I don't know
is that rumors?
I think I might have mentioned that last week, but I'm not sure if that's true. Maybe he gets more than that. I mean,
you never know.
Who knows with Jared? He doesn't do anything for free.
He is a very astute businessman for sure, as well as fast racer.
And Nicole, his wife, she used to go really good out here at this racetrack. Do you remember watching Nicole go fast?
Yeah, for sure.
I think she won a semi or two out here. I think the crowd definitely loves Nicole Meese. Used to be Nicole Cheza.
She was number 16X and then national number 15. She was a fast rider. She couldn't take number 16 because your buddy Ronnie Jones had that number for like 40 years or something.
But she kept it in Michigan because Garth Brow, number 15, right, for many years.
Yep,
and
Gonzo.
She kept it up there in the home state of Michigan.
So the rookies of 79, Charlie Roberts goes to every round. Allen helps him out. Tammy Richmond.
Right.
That raffle they got going on, you can also buy that raffle tickets online.
Right.
And Joliet, the Joliet winner, actually was in their seat and bought the raffle tickets and won it. Look at we got a drone in the race. Last weekend we had turtles in the race. There goes the drone. We put a number plate on that drone.
But what's crazy is that you guys had last weekend we were up in New York and we got a little short track we built up there, and there was a turtle on our racetrack as well.
Really?
Yeah.
There's turtle racing.
They love flat track.
I wish they would put a sticker on that. So what I wanted to know is was it the same turtle that was just trying to get home to his house, or was there multiple turtles that just wanted to race?
I have no idea.
I told him
put a little marker on.
Put a sticker on there. At least we know if it's the same one. Well, man, that drone just about got hit by one of those Ram trucks.
That's Mike DeWeese.
Which one?
He's in the
white one.
White one. Yeah.
All right. Well, watch out for
83F.
83F. F was the district letter from Ohio. Yep.
Correct.
Yep. That was how we used to have district letters. That would always let you know where you're from. So that was the letter F. Oklahoma was G.
Yeah, I never figured that out. Why? Where they came up with the lettering system, because it doesn't.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't match the state.
It didn't coincide. So it looks like some flat track royalties down there in the pit area.
The Kings.
So we'll check with her in just a second. But, yeah, the letters were different from wherever you went in the country. All right, I think we heard some flat track royalty was down there with Kristen Beat. They're right mid-story right. Let's hear this story. Kristen, what is he talking about?
Right now, we'll roll it back. I'm having so much fun out here talking with Jay Springsteen, and I asked him before you tossed it down to us, Scotty, I said, what is one of your favorite or most memorable races? So, Jay, I'll let you start that story over.
I liked all races. I like racing to California a lot. San Jose, Ascot was one of my favorites. But going to Indianapolis, just the atmosphere of going to Indianapolis, and you'd be running 130 down the back straightaway, and I'm looking at the dang Ferris wheel going around down there because the state fair was going on, and I just some of the things, and then just like I said, the atmosphere going to Indianapolis, it was a lot of fun, and I like racing here. I grew up on racetracks like this, and me and my older brother raced together, and today I brought my younger brother Chuck with me. He used to race with me too. And it just got too expensive and ended up giving it up. And then now we all hurt and limp and talk about our aches and ailments.
You sound like Brian Smith. Jay, what is it like to race on one of these cushion tracks?
These type of tracks here, you steer the motorcycle more with the rear wheel, than the front wheel. You keep it spinning and you steer the bike around, keeping it in a slide, And this Lima racetrack is one of the last racetracks that is a nice cushion. A lot of the other tracks are like hard tracks, hard pack, clay, and they get a blue line around the bottom. Here, the track moves as the day goes on. You can run up top, and then as the cushion goes away, you work your way down, or vice versa. You start at the bottom and then you work your way up to the top and run up in the cushion. And all the racetracks that I raced on when I was coming up was all cushion racetracks. Hardly any car tracks, hard clay tracks.
Who do you think in your prime put up the biggest battles, or who was the most challenging to race?
I guess back in my career, back in the earlier days, Ricky Graham was really tough. He was a very talented rider, and then Bubba Schobert, and then Scott Parker come up, and he was in a league of his own, and then Brian Smith, and now Jared Mees is kind of in his own little league, but it looks like he's got some competition, though, with some of these other Indian guys, and anymore, if you're not on the Indian, I don't think you're going to win.
Who of the current riders in the series would you like to have raced in your prime?
Oh, I love racing with Kenny Roberts, and I was a young kid coming up and got to race with him at Columbus Fairgrounds, a few times when he was a Yamaha factory rider, and I was a first-year Harley factory rider. That was in the 70s.
The music was better back then. quite a bit later. I won't make you feel that way. But I mean, looking out at the track today, what do you make of the racing today in the Super Twins class?
The Super Twins class it's just limited. There's only four guys that I think can win.
We've got to go back to racing. I will get back with you in a minute. It's going to get loud out here, but guys, Jay Springsteen out here in Lima.
Springer Man having some fun at the Ohio National. There's the one of Briar Bauman. This is their first round of qualifying out here. 1 is Briar Bauman, 44 is Robinson, 9 is Jared Meese, 20 is Jared Vandekoy, 95 J.D. Beach, 37 Bronson Bauman, 92 is Brandon Price, 36 Colby Carlisle, 67 Davis Fisher, 27 is Bugs Pearson, and the 43 of Rispoli. And it's qualifying time. You try to gap yourself away from everybody else, I would think. Wouldn't you, Tommy?
Yeah, you don't want to have the spray to deal with that for in qualifying. You want to have your own line, want to have fresh air, and you want to just pick your line and head to the front.
Yeah, you don't want to get in that roost of the bike in front of you. It definitely slows you down. Got a message on, looked like Twitter a few moments ago, said, the Speedway guys, the roost is bad off a Speedway bike just like this, but we're on a half-mile Speedway bikes are on little bitty tracks, but they also had no brakes. Or a flat track starting. So a little bit of similarity to Speedway.
A little bit, but Speedway's tires are a little smaller as well compared to the dirt track tires, so I think you'll get a little bit more out of the dirt track roost.
There's a Jeremiah Duffy shirt. He had mechanical issues last weekend, and he's not going to make it out here for today's race, and that's too bad because he had an excellent run going last weekend at OKC. He was fast qualifier for a while.
And he's used to cushion tracks as well.
There we go. There's a look at the number 9, the Jammer Jared Meese. It's hard to believe, but Meese has won here 5 times, and now he's the promoter. Him and his wife are the promoter of this event, so Meese definitely knows his way around this racetrack. Watching some qualifying action throughout the pack here. There's the number 9 of Jared Meese. He's all over the motorcycle, using a little bit of body English right there.
Absolutely helps you with when you get pitched off into the little cushion there. It bucks you up and down and side by side, so you need to have that foot moving out there as a balance and be in the center of that motorcycle.
Brandon Robinson at the top spot, 2.5.570. It's even faster than they were in practice, 2.5.5 right now for the 44. Vandekoy close second, 2.5.857. So Vandekoy is taking the checkered flag, starting to slow down just a little bit, 2.5.570. Robinson in the top spot right now as he's going down the back straightaway. Do you think it helps that he's a taller rider on this particular racetrack, or do you think that's even a factor?
I really don't think it's a factor. It's you look back in the day, Jimbo Felice really small, and then you had Too Tall Ted Booty as well. And I used to think that maybe sometimes a little bit taller, depending on the track, would give you a little bit more leverage with the motorcycle. But boy, short people have proved me wrong on that. So.
Yep.
Look at Shayna Texter.
Yeah, exactly.
Bauman.
Little itty bitty.
Right.
Yep.
I remember a couple years ago when she won, I was standing down in between 3 and 4, and she was right in the middle of the track where the line was at, and she was just getting bucked and bounced all over the place, and she did it.
Look who's on the screen right there. That is Stevie Addison. That's Brian Smith's sister. It's her birthday today, and that is little baby Oakland right there, and that's J.R. Addison's baby as well. So Stevie Smith is now Stevie Addison. She married J.R. Addison, who wasn't one of the Ohio boys that went fast.
Right,
there's J.R. right there.
And they have TDFJ rings on, both of them.
Man, look at how that worked out.
Look at there.
There it is. Yeah, exactly.
Stevie was fast in her day, right?
Oh, she went really good here. She always was twice the number. 42 was Brian Smith. She was twice as good, so she was 84. She got a laugh out of right there. Happy birthday, Stevie. Thanks for coming out to the races. Hope you guys have a great time. Brian Smith was supposed to stop in the booth, but instead we brought in this guy, Tom Duma.
You got stuck with me.
Stuck with you? We invited you.
I was lost and found you in turn 2.
Here's how we finish up in our first round of qualifying for the Mission Super Twins presented by SNS Cycle. Brandon Robinson at the top spot. Jared Vandekoy behind him. Briars in 3rd. Jared Meese in 4th. Bronson Bauman 5th. Davis Fisher 6th. Bugs Pearson in 7th. Rispoli 8th. J.D. Beach is 9th. Where's Carlisle? Must be back there 10th or 11th with one of the other riders that's missing. But look at that. Robinson's won here. Vandekoy still looking for his first ever win. Briars won here. Meese is definitely won here. Bronson's still looking for his first Lima win. He's got one national win in his credit. But Vandekoy, Ohio boy, say he didn't like the racetrack. You heard something about that before, something about Daytona a couple years ago?
Yeah, it was several years ago. I was down in Daytona, and I ran into Jesse Janis before we got practice started. And I said, what do you think? He says, I hate this track. He said, I never do any good here. And he ended up winning his heat, winning the main event that day.
No, so I guess if you don't like the track, it's just no big deal.
Right, it's no big deal. It doesn't mean. I noticed your notes over there. Do we have
which one?
What was fast? Do we know what track record is here?
I don't have that. That's a very, very touchy subject for me because I would love to have that. Chris Carr's late mom, she used to always ask me what the track record was, and they're hard to find. I don't have that anywhere in my notes. I've got all the history of Lima. 29 Harley-Davidsons have won here, 2 Hondas have won here, 1 Kawasaki, and 2 Indian motorcycles. So that's some of the history. The first Grand National here was back in 1984. Scotty Parker picked up his first win of 7. He won here 7 times. Jared Meese has won here 5. Chris Carr's won here 4 times. Moorhead has won here 3 times. Smokin' Joe Kopp has won 3 nationals here. Another little interesting nugget that I've found interesting anyway, first-time Grand National winners, Will Davis, 1989. Chris Evans, Canadian rider, 2002. Jared Meese, his first ever national was here in 2005 that he won. And Dominic Bolak from Canada won here in 2006. Will we have another first-time winner? Van der Kooi could put his name right there on my list.
Right on. It could happen.
Also in the singles class, sometimes the GNC2 class was here, and GNC, there was a singles class GNC2 class on twins. So Chad Coast won here in production twins in 2019. Shayna's won here 2019 and 2018 on 2 different brands of bikes. Parker Norris won here back in 2017.
Very cool.
I believe that was right around when he was graduating and stuff like that. We had a couple of graduation ceremonies on the victory podium. Ryan Wells won here in 2016. J.R. Addison, who we just saw, he won here in 2015. Kyle Johnson's here. He won in 2014. Zach Palmer was fast back here in 2011 and 12. Do you remember Zach?
Zach, he was always had the
leathers,
the cleanest motorcycles, the cleanest leathers. He's just a perfectionist. Everything was perfect on that motorcycle.
All right, qualifying. Round number 2 has begun. AFT singles rolling on the racetrack. I also want to point out Brad Baker won here in 2010, came back in the premier class and won in 2015. Some more of my Lima notes. Group number 1, qualifying round number 2 for the AFT singles. This is it for singles qualifying. Daniel's on the 1 bike. 18 is Maxwell. 15 is Mikey Rush. 17, Henry Wiles. 52, Shane Texter Bauman. 13 is Morgan Mishler. 105, Brandon Kitchen. 48, Trent Lowe. 21, Trevor Bruner was quickest in qualifying round 1. Zabal is on the 51, 38, Tanner Dean, and the 19, James Ott, who looked really strong last night down the road at Greenville, Ohio. There's a look at the American Honda bikes being chased by Maxwell on the 18. And here is some of the Estenson crew looking on down here in the inside the small box. See if anybody can beat the 26.092 of Trevor Bruner.
Glad to see Trevor back out there after that bail. We was sitting in the family room watching that, and boy, that was from what we've seen, it was crazy.
It was wild. Like Ricky spoke earlier, the advancements in helmets, the mandatory airbag suits, I think definitely did their job last weekend.
No doubt.
There's Mikey Rush out front, 26.405. Just as I say that, Trevor Bruner goes back to the top spot, 26.350, so about 0.3 slower. Actually, just a little over 0.2 slower. Henry Wiles on the screen on the 17 bike moves into second, 26.405. The top 2 finished first and second. The last rounds did Wiles. So Wiles has some momentum coming in here. Some big mo. Like I mentioned earlier, he won here back in 2010 on a Harley-Davidson. So he likes this racetrack. He's right now in front of Dallas Daniels on the 1 bike. So, Wiles goes to the top spot. That last lap, 26.291. Wiles in the top spot here in qualifying.
Well, Honda has been tough this whole season, and Mike Turner, by tip of my hat to him for what he's doing with 3 riders, and everything he does it first class. So I'm glad to see that they're getting the results for the effort that they're putting forth.
And he just got back in the sport mainly because of the rookie class of 79. Did you know that?
I heard that story. Yeah, I heard that story with Mike.
That is crazy to me. And now he's in with both feet in trucks and trailers, team managers, and all the Hondas they need. He's out here helping out the Turner Racing Honda team for the 17, the 21, and the 51 out here on the track right now. They're also all up in the top 14 in the top 10 in the point standings, I should say. As the checkered flag comes out in this group, Henry Wiles at the top spot, 26.291, a little bit slower than qualifying round number 1. So it looks like still it is Bruner in the top spot, 26.092 from round 1.
That's awesome. Yeah, he deserves it after last weekend.
And we didn't hear much about this kid a couple years ago down at an AMA Steve Nace race down in Volusia. He beat all the pros as an amateur in the All-Star singles class.
Right.
And that was the first time I've seen him. And now it's like he's up there every week.
It didn't win Springfield short track?
He sure
a couple
did.
of years ago. Yeah,
Yep, he sure
and then
did.
he couldn't see like the last 4 laps, right?
Because he was fogging up his lens.
I couldn't believe I was watching it on the TV, and wow, he couldn't see, but yet he didn't crack under the pressure.
Well, you still go fast and turn left, but you got to figure out where to shut off. I guess he wasn't shutting off. So here's a look as we stand right now in round number 2. Henry Wiles at the top spot. Trevor Bruner is second. Maxwell third. Brandon Kitchen fourth. Mikey Rush fifth with his teammate right behind him in sixth of Dallas Daniels. Cole Zabala seventh. Morgan Mishler. Shayna Texter-Bauman back in ninth. So that is round number 2. Round number 1 qualifying time I wrote down here 2:06.092. So right now the track might have been a little bit faster in that first session. So that's why every lap is so important. And that's why we gave that other group one extra lap, because they didn't get to finish up because that red flag came out for Andrew Luker.
Right. It's just, especially between qualifying and then their heat races or semis, they've got to maybe put a tooth on, take a tooth off, get ready for the track to change. And it should get a little faster as the moisture comes up as the sun goes down. But it was good that it's been a little overcast today. It's kept the moisture in.
There are some precipitation yesterday too. I definitely think helped as well. So the drags are out there on the racetrack. When we come back onto the track, we'll have practice group number 2, or qualifying group number 2. Let's go back down to the pit area. It looks like Kristen Beat is caught up with not only the race promoter, but one of the fast guys out here, Jared Meese.
One of the all-time fastest guys out here, Jared. When I was watching that moto, I noticed that you were kind of taking a high line and cutting down low, and that's not a line that I've seen a lot of guys using throughout the day. Why is that? What is that? What are you looking to find?
I'm just kind of searching out there a little bit. I was just struggling the second round of practice. That time there felt a lot better. Just trying to open up my entries a little bit more and carry a little bit more speed through the middle. And like I said, just trying to find a little something out there, and haven't quite got there just yet. But still got a lot of racing and a lot of day left.
Jared, I noticed you're one of the most studious riders in the pits. You have your phone out, you're watching other practices, you're watching the times. What does that do for you?
I just kind of see maybe, if I could pick up on somebody else out there, what they're doing, and just kind of see, how consistent I am compared to the other guys. Just, consistency wins this race more than just one fast lap time. And unfortunately, we're not that consistent either. So, just struggling a little bit through the middle, and got to pick up some areas for sure.
Well, Jared, best of luck out there. And just a note about Jared Meese, I was talking to Morgan Mishler just a few moments ago, kind of asking him about this track. And one thing he said is this track and this race is always so well prepped, so well done. Riders enjoy coming here. So, Jared, you're doing very well on that end.
Yeah, I got to give a huge shout out to the entire crew. We're battling this wind and this sun, and it's not the ideal situation for sure with this track. And then, we all knew and thought that this big rainstorm was going to come. So I left the track really hard to hope to beat that rain, and that rain never came. Like, we got nothing. So we got here today, and I feel like we're just playing catch up. But the track guys, the drag guys, Steve Moorhead, everybody, they're working their butts off to give us the best case scenario. And I appreciate the riders looking out and thanking them for that, because they put a lot of heart and soul into this, as well as my wife and I. So thanks to all you fans. We're going to hope to put on the best show we can for you guys, and thanks for supporting the Lima Half Mile.
Jared, thanks for your time. Guys?
That is the former champ of our sport and 5-time winner here at the Ohio National. Kristen gets to check in with him right now. They're firing up bikes already. Group number 2 set to come out. The fast time to beat is so far from round number 1, 2:06.092. Group number 2 coming out. 99 is Kevin Stallings. 143, Cody Kopp. 124, Hunter Bauer from Canada. 94, Ryan Wells. 26, Aiden Roos Evans. The 11, Andrew Luker, scheduled to come out after that get off. We'll see if he's made it up there to staging. 161, Casey Cisco. 55, Tyler Raggio. 175, Terrence Santero. 191, that kid was impressive as well last weekend at OKC. It's Dustin Brown. 182 is Travis Fretton. Luker is making his way onto the track. The 11 bike, after that get off, he's back out there.
That's a good thing. He get back up on and get out and do it again.
Absolutely. So
stay away from the fence.
That is the 11 of Luker right there with the white leathers with the blue trim. I love his checkered flags over his boots. I say that every race because I think they're so cool. Chad Costa is very similar with the checkered flags down there over his boots. He said beat up a little bit, maybe a thumb injury, but he's going to just let that thing eat. Just twist that throttle. The good news is they got a little bit of a break after this one before we go to DuQuoin July 17th. So a little bit of a break for our riders. Who are you watching this group? Who you keep an eye on this group number 2 here?
I'm back to my 124.
Hunter Bauer.
And Cody Kopp.
Yep, Cody Kopp. We won here a couple of months ago. 2 months ago or so, there was an RPM race out here, and Cody Kopp put a hurting on everybody on that 143 bike. Hunter Bauer's out there, the 124. Just dropped. My podcast just had him on there. It came out yesterday, the 124 He's only 16.
16, gosh.
And was flying, was up front last week at the OKC Mile. So that's some of the riders we're keeping an eye on. Looks like a little battle right here. There's Cody Kopp on the 143. Did you run hand guards when you ran on the cushions before?
Yes. Yeah, we had hand guards.
Did you fabricate them, or did they have hand guards back then?
They were
back then, like
back then,
cardboard.
they were actually leather.
Really?
Yeah, it was a
Old school.
fabric. Yeah.
Yeah.
Big old wrapping around.
Are some of your best bruises from cushions? I see you got a bruised up thigh right now. Is this that's permanent damage from cushions?
No, that's from the Indy Mile.
Okay.
From when doing the tuck. It burned through my pipes, burned
Really?
through my boot.
That far up your leg,
and
or down your leg, I guess. Wow, incredible. White flag is out. Group number 2 here in qualifying, round number 2 for the AFT singles. Again, 2 rounds for all of our classes. Still Henry Wiles on top here in this one. They're taking a look at Hunter Bauer, the 120. Look at that roost coming off that back tire. That was a beautiful shot right there. He's running a little bit different. Look at the front wheel coming up on 124. I like what he's doing on that bump. I think he feels comfortable.
Yeah, and I think going over it with just the one wheel, it doesn't upset it as much as it does if you're going over it twice.
All right, 191. Dustin Brown is all the way up to 5th in this round of qualifying. Dustin Brown out there on the Justin Jones motorcycle. So he's the quickest on the racetrack right now. Still Wiles at the top spot as the checkered flag is out. So it looks like we're still relying on round number 1 of qualifying, 2.6.092. And round number 2 so far, Wiles with a 2.6.291 has the top spot. Bauer is down here 13th, if you guys are wondering. Shayna Texter-Bauman is 11th right now. Timing does count because with only rows of 4 in your semifinals, that means the top 8 will be on the front row. Also in the singles class, Tommy, 32 bikes will make it out of qualifying. In the singles class, we have 35, so 3 bikes will be done after qualifying in this class.
I have to load it up and get ready for the coin.
Yep. All right, so the bikes are taking their stuff back to the pit area right now. That was group number 2, AFT singles. Group number 3 is coming up next. It looks like Kristen Beat is caught up with the champion and 2-time defending champion Briar Bauman's down there in the pit area.
Yeah, just a moment ago, Briar was actually talking with his wife, Shayna Texter-Bauman, and I keep reminding myself to add Bauman towards the end of that. Briar, I asked you, are you guys talking live? Are you talking racing? You said racing. What about the racing were you guys discussing?
Yeah, right now, honestly, just how bad she's riding. She is not doing her job very well, and the bike's kind of acting up. So we're just trying to straighten that out a little bit. I feel really good, so it's always a little bit more difficult when I'm doing well and she's struggling, or vice versa. So, yeah, we're just trying to break it down. Lima's brutal and a lot to get through. She's won here twice, so it's difficult when you're not going fast. So we're just trying to get her back in that state of mind.
Speaking of brutal, I noticed on the inside of your arms right here, just mild bruising and roost from Oklahoma City, of course. On some of the other riders who are a little further back in the pack, they had it even worse. But as a rider, how do you stay committed when you have that roost facing you and you know you just got to get around a guy?
Yeah, it's a lot, honestly. We get to the point where it's like you kind of want to let go or duck in or go up above, but it's they're just starting to heal up a little bit. Now we're back at Lima, so I'm hoping to get hole shots all day and not have to deal with any of it, but yeah, it's a lot of commitment to deal with it for one lap, let alone 25 or whatever we go for the distance. So, war zone. Got to be ready for these types of cushions.
You actually scored your first Premier Series victory here at the Lima Half Mile. Take me back to that moment. How special was that for you?
Yeah, that was a cool one. I never really thought I'd be able to win on a twin at any racetrack, let alone Lima. So the bike was really good back then, and it feels like forever ago. So at 2017, I was a kid. It's like so much has changed in such a short amount of time, but it does feel like a really long time. So really, really special.
Now that you started to kind of knock off those wins, are they still novel? Are they still special to you? Or are you jaded now as you started to acquire more wins across the tracks?
No, they're still really, really special. I mean, these guys are so good at this point. It's harder than it's ever been. You kind of go through a phase where things feel like they're really clicking, and even just winning, say, in Chicago a couple weeks ago, it felt like I rode harder than I ever have on a slick racetrack. So every time you win against all these guys, how well they ride and how stacked it is, even for whatever 7 guys or 8, 9 guys of us in the class there is, like it's definitely meaningful to beat all these dudes.
So moving back to the Shayna conversation that you were having earlier, you're a great coach, and I think that you've been coached by some great guys too. You've worked with Alden Baker, you've worked with even Jared Mees when you were growing up. What kind of advice do you give Shayna when she's out on track or before she gets out there?
Yeah, I mean this shit ain't easy. Like if it was easy, everyone would do it. So right now she's struggling. She's never struggled here, at least in the last couple of years. So you just kind of have to keep at it and go through the motions and ride the wave of the highs and lows of flat track. That's how it goes. And honestly, her class is tougher than any class out here. There's so many dudes that are so close. All the bikes are really, really good. It's hard. Like, I look at that class, and I don't think any one of us in the Super Twins could move down and be winners right away. So just tell her to keep at it. It ain't easy.
That's good advice. What do you think, Scotty?
That's great advice. I mean, Shayna, I don't think needs advice, but coming from the two-time champ, that is great advice. Just go out there and ride and do what you know how to do. She's a little bit off right now, but she's not that far off, so I think that's great news. Your phone's going crazy up here, Tommy. who else texting you right now?
Itchy Armstrong from back in the day, and Sean Bear, Mike Hacker. So shout out to those guys.
Listening in, watching. Group number 3 rolling onto the racetrack. Final round of qualifying. Some of these riders may not come on the racetrack again tonight. 133 is David Wiggin. 135, Ezra Brusky. 243, Jared Lowe. 298, Trent Pickle. Also coming out, the 109, Billy Ross. 156, Jordan Jean. 157, Ian Wolf. 101, Grant Holmes. 121, Jacob Cassio. 107, Blake Steinwagner. He might be giving Schwarzenbacher a run for his money with that name. And the 75, Blake Lomas. So, for some of these riders, Tommy, it's go or go home. You got to put in the fastest lap you can. Try to stay out of the roost of the rider in front of you.
Right on. I'm looking at Ian Wolf. I remember watching him like when he's 13, 14 years old, riding short track up in Western Reserve Motorcycle Club, and it's great to see him out here as well.
Now he's like 6'7". I mean,
grew up.
No, he's probably 6'4", 6'3". Maybe 6'2". He seems like he's taller than me, but he's out here, and he likes this racetrack. He goes good at this racetrack. He likes the Cushion racetrack. He's from Mansfield, Ohio.
Right. This is his backyard home race, and he's no stranger to Cushion racetracks.
Like I mentioned, the top 32 after the combined times will move on to 2 semifinals. Everybody else will put them in the hauler. We'll see those folks July 17th as we go to DuQuoin, Illinois, and that is part of the 2021 AMA Amateur Flat Track Grand Championships. It's 2 days before and about 3 or 4 days after.
That'll be cool.
A huge event.
And are you announcing that as well?
Every single race.
Wow.
Yep. So I'm going to take a lot of cough drops, some honey, some water. And if you can come and do some backup commentating, I'd appreciate it.
And Chase Sadoff is he's in line for that, right? For the Horizon Award?
He is looking for the Nikki Hayden Horizon Award. He came up a little bit short last year. Cody Kopp got it, I think, partly because he was going pro sooner than Chase. It was between those two. And Terrence Santero, who's racing with us, the 175 bike was up there in the mix of that, too. So, we'll see who gets that coveted Nikki Hayden Horizon Award. The week of July, the same week we were there at DuQuoin. Man, that blue bike right there was all over the racetrack as we were watching here. The final group of qualifying for our AFT singles class. The time to beat still is the Henry Wiles bike, and this time with a 2.6.291. Round 1 was a 2.6.092. Just watching some of the different riders throughout the pack right here. That rider's way up in the high stuff. That's Jordan Jean. He's from Michigan. He should be used to the Cushion racetracks as well. As they come across the start-finish line, there's the checkered flag. Oh, Raymond Rizzo's out there waving the checkered flag. We're in his Finding the Finish suite. I guess we call it the Finding the Finish Community Center. And you can go to findingthefinish.com to help out Raymond. You can be a pit crew member and make a donation to help Raymond get to all the races. So we appreciate Raymond for letting us use his trailer where he hauls his car to the races, and that's where our studio is today.
Nice. I've seen the motorhood up front. I'd like to borrow this.
Yeah, well, just talk to Raymond. I'm sure he's not busy every week. So the drags come back onto the racetrack. In qualifying, they'll take the overall times from round 1 to round number 2. Round 1 was the 21 of Trevor Bruner, 2.6.092. Round 2 was the 17 of Henry Wiles. So one way or another, it's going to be a Turner Racing American Honda sponsored rider will be our fast qualifier. Looks like to me 2.6.092 might be the quick time of the evening here in the singles class. A little bit later on, the Bullet Brad Baker will make his way into the booth, and he's going to relieve you of your duties.
Okay. What an honor to be able to
warm up
the chair. Yeah.
Good job, Tommy. There's a look at round number 2. Wiles, Bruner, 1 and 2. Maxwell, 3rd. Brandon Kitchen. Dustin Brown up there, the Canadian rider, 5th. Mikey Rush. Dustin Brown, 2-time Canadian champ. Did you realize that?
No.
Yep. Canada.
A?
I think that they say A after everything. I don't know. So they're getting set to go. We're here at the Allen County Fairgrounds. Don't forget, we'll switch on over to TrackPass on NBC Sports Gold right after Opening Ceremonies. Opening Ceremonies tonight is at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We do have an open pit area rider autograph session going on from 8 o'clock until 9 o'clock, right after our Mission Challenge and right before the 3 main events. So
let the sun go down a little bit.
Yeah, and we didn't think it was going to be a factor. Earlier today, it was very cloudy, very overcast. Now the sun is out. It is still windy from turns 1 and 2 down the back straightaway into 3 and 4. So they'll fight the wind on the front straightaway, just like the OKC mile. So when we come back, we'll get back into more qualifying action. Production Twins qualifying, round number 2 coming up next from Ohio.
You own the job and everything that comes with it. The mornings that start too early, the nights that go too late, and every unbelievable thing in between. It's good to know you can rent whatever construction equipment you need from people who do whatever it takes. Visit us at catrentalstore.com.
Progressive insures over 5 million boats, motorcycles, and RVs throughout America. Get a quote in under 4 minutes at AmericanFlatTrack.com/progressive to see how much you could save.
Honda's all-new Talon 1000 X4, the official sports side-by-side of American Flat Track, and the same vehicle driven during intermissions to condition the track. Featuring a high-tech 6-speed automatic dual-clutch transmission, quick-revving 1000cc twin-cylinder engine, Fox suspension, intelligent 4-wheel drive, and stadium seating for up to 4. The Talons are now available at your local Honda Powersports dealer.
American Flat Tracker, the official apparel of AFT. It's time to get out and ride with Johnny K's Power Sports. Whether it's work or play, on the trail, highway, or water, we've got the hottest deals around on Can-Am, Polaris, Indian motorcycles, Scarab jet boats, Sea-Doo, Honda, BMW, and more. Plus, the largest selection of power sports apparel, parts, and accessories in the Midwest. We're Ohio's power sports giant in Elyria, Lodi, and Niles. Johnny K's Power Sports.
When everything is on the line, when you need the absolute best in performance and protection. There's only one brand that has what it takes to get you to the finish line. Liqui-Moly.
We're the Law Tigers, America's motorcycle lawyers. We understand the challenges riders face every day. As riders, we want to share the road and be seen by motorists. Remaining visible is critical to our safety and well-being. That's why we work tirelessly to promote motorcycle safety and awareness. We're proud to support our community that includes riders of all stripes. If you've been injured in a motorcycle accident, call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS or visit lawtigers.com. The Law Tigers, America's motorcycle lawyers.
Dunlop is the official tire of Progressive American Flat Track. We make tires in America for racing and street racing, such as our creditworthy Progressive American Flat Track spec racing tire, the DT4, and the DT3, which is now the street-legal K180. Learn more about Dunlop tires at dunlopmotorcycletires.com. Kicker Performance Audio is the official sound system of American Flat Track. Kicker's fully stocked line of products includes speakers, amplifiers, and subwoofers for your car and truck stereo systems, as well as those for your boat, side-by-side, and touring motorcycle. Kicker also makes Bluetooth outdoor speakers, over-ear headphones, and earbuds to pair with your favorite mobile device. To learn more or find a dealer, visit kicker.com.
If you ever dreamed of blue skies, fresh air, and blue-green water, then look no further. If your idea of heaven on earth includes velvet golf courses, romantic evenings, and a setting sun, then you owe it to yourself to check out Southwest Florida's beautiful Punta Gorda and its neighboring areas. At mydigitallisting.com, we've been making dreams come true for over a decade.
With over 300 World Championship titles, for 44 years, Öhlins advanced suspension technology has been providing the pinnacle of suspension for all areas of motorsports. For road or track, dirt or asphalt, when you choose Öhlins products to elevate your performance, you get Öhlins USA support and service to keep fueling your passion for excellence.
And welcome back to the Ohio National. There's the picture of Breyer when he got his first ever Twins win right here. I made a promise with him a long time ago. When he won his first national, I interviewed him. When he got his first podium, I interviewed him. And I got to interview him when he won his first Super Twins main. And that was him in shock right there. He's riding for Zanotti on the Kawasaki. And that was him, and he was definitely in shock.
He was. I was here. I remember it well.
There we go. Production Twins back on the racetrack. Their second and final round of qualifying. 65, Corey Texter. 79, Dalton Gauthier. 62 is Dan Bromley. 49, Chad Coast. 25 is Ben Lau. 44, Cameron Smith. 68, Revan Ryan Barnes. 64, Danny Eslick on the Triumph. And 31, Dylan Bell on the Harley-Davidson XG 750. Looks like they put a little extra water on the racetrack. There is some rider down to number 3 up against the air fence right there. It looks like possibly Chad Coast. It does look like Coase picking up that motorcycle. The left number plate beaten off of it already. So he gets on the motorcycle. Did he keep it running? He's trying to downshift it. Yep, he kept that thing running. So it looked like it was a little extra water was put down on the racetrack that time, Tommy. Maybe that has something to do with him going down.
Yeah, he gets up there and back end comes around.
And that is his only motorcycle. We saw last weekend he broke his primary bike the first night, borrowed a motorcycle for the second night. He's taking a look down there. The good news is his mechanic is here. His old mechanic, Tom Englehart, is here to hopefully help him out. He'll take that bike back to the attention of the crew. This is qualifying round number 2. If he's all right, they're going to fire him back up and keep him going, though. What are you pointing at?
That's just how wet the back straightaway is there.
Well, it looked like the water truck went down from the inside, was spraying it with a little bit harder spray going outside. Yeah, there's a good look at it right there. That was coming from the side of the water truck. Most of the time when the water truck sprays water, it's out the back. So it might be a little bit more pressure than they were used to. So a little bit extra wet down there. So the rest of the bikes pull up to the hot and cold box outside of turn number 1 where they enter and exit the racetrack. Looks like Chad Coase may have pulled off. They're sending everybody else back onto the racetrack. Chad's going to have to rely on his times from round number 1 again. So some bad luck for the 49, the California kid, Chad Coase.
If anybody can overcome adversity, it's Chad.
There's Corey Texter out in front. So a question from our production truck is, how does overwatering a track like this affect the track right now? That 49, he is out there, but he pulled out of the way. So overwatering, what is that doing to our competitors right now?
So on a track like this, you're steering the bike not with the front but the back. So you're steering it with power, your throttle hand, and then the back end. And so when you're backing it into the corner and it's extremely loose because of the wetness, then you can low side very easily.
So it didn't look like, the straightaways are quite a big factor, except for the water and moisture coming off those tires filling up your lens, and so you can't see. But you just don't want to be. Chad just doesn't look like he's comfortable right now. Something's definitely wrong with the 49. Now he's starting to pick up the pace though, so maybe it is too slick going into 3.
Yeah, it looked like when he was going into 3 there, he got a little upset, and then he went straight again, and then the bike got upset again.
When the bike gets upset, that's hitting a bump, and it just upsets the suspension, which upsets you going into the corners, right?
Right. Yeah, you want the suspension compressed, not rebounding right and bucking you up.
So he slammed on the brakes, locked it up, and now he's all up in the really, really deep stuff. It looked like he kicked his foot, almost kicked back and hit the rear tire, and now he's going to grab a handful right here. Look at the roost spraying off that back tire.
That's beautiful.
So he's struggling just a little bit. He'll figure it out, though. He was running the high line at OKC, higher than anybody else was last weekend. Let's take a look at the times right now here in our final round of qualifying. Ben Lau at the top spot, the 25, 26.833. Varnes is in second, 27.033. There's the bright green leathers of Varnes on the 68 bike. That's his only bike he's got. He's no backup right now either.
He's been doing a lot of braking, unfortunately.
We've had a lot of races really close together. Good thing for our teams is they get a short break before we head to DuQuoin. Varnes right now second in this round. Chad Coase at the back, 27.737, so he's definitely not feeling up to snuff right now as we watch Varnes on the 68 bike. His dad's here, Reverend Kevin Varnes. He signed some number plates for the rookies of 79. They're going to sell those.
Absolutely, and Ryan's due. This year he's had some ups and downs, some bad luck, mechanicals. He's ready to get on the box.
He is more than due. He's ready for his first win of the season. It's been Chad Coase and Corey Texter. Dallas Daniels did win Atlanta, but other than that, those two have been winning each and every round here in the AFT Production Twins presented by Vance and Hines class. It still looks like Ben Lau is the quickest in this round. Johnny Lewis was a little bit faster in our first round of qualifying, 26.456. So it might be slowing down a little bit. They'll drag the racetrack down. I know we have a break, a short break during opening ceremonies before we get into our semifinals. And don't forget, the open pit area is going on from 8 until 9 p.m. After that, we'll have our 3 main events. So before our break, after opening ceremonies, we'll have 6 semifinals. We'll have the Mission Challenge, which is 4 laps for $5,000. And then we'll have our break for the open fan walk for you riders for you fans to go down here and meet your riders. There's Ben Loud talking things over with his crew chief. Now, he's going to go back up to the fence. That's exactly what I would do if I was still racing. If I had a crew chief, he'd send the crew chief back with the motorcycle. He's going to go watch this next group to see where his competition's riding.
Absolutely. It's important.
Jared Meese sits down there, watches his phone. Ben Loud's going to go up there and watch the fence. There's Johnny Lewis getting ready to come to the racetrack. Final round of qualifying for the Production Twins up next.
In 2021, Royal Enfield celebrates 120 years of riding pure. The iconic brand will continue to pursue its efforts in the Production Twin class and the Build Train Race program. After a successful first-year campaign, Royal Enfield looks to improve on last year's effort. For more information, please visit royalenfield.com.
Everything we do at the track shapes what we build for the street and the dirt.
You can see how bad these guys want it. A race to the line.
For us, racing is not for the trophies or the glory. We compete because it makes everything we do faster, more durable, and tested to a higher standard. For S&S, racing is the ultimate in proven performance, and we've been proving it since 1958.
Race fans, VP Racing Fuels offers a full line of power sports fuels, lubricants, coolants, and appearance products for track and street. From pro racers to weekend warriors, we help riders make more power. Ask your local power sports dealer. SBS is your single source for brake parts and components. From pads to rotors, shoes, and other important parts covering motorcycles, scooters, motocross bikes, ATVs, and UTVs. We create the power to stop you so you can go ahead. Find the right parts for your bike at www.sbsbrakes.com.
Sideburn is the world's finest Go Fast, Turn Left magazine. It is available to buy at Progressive AFT's trackside merchandise booths and is the official magazine of Progressive American Flat Track. For more information, visit sideburnmagazine.com. At Tech Mounts, we support motorcycle riders, industry retailers, and OEMs for over 20 years. Proudly designed and manufactured in the USA, Tech Mounts has become the #1 source for mounting any mobile device on any vehicle and comes with a lifetime guarantee. See all Tech Mounts products at your local motorcycle dealers, retailers, and on techmounts.com.
Brought to you by Yamaha and its best-in-class lineup of power sports vehicles. For more information on how you too can experience the pinnacle of performance both on and off-road, visit YamahaMotorsports.com.
Born from the desire to inspire and create adventure and community, Super 73 is an electric bike brand fusing motorcycle heritage and youth culture. Founded in 2016 and based in Southern California, Super 73 has led the charge in pioneering a new approach to help redefine the electric bicycle industry. By emphasizing thoughtful design, responsible manufacturing techniques, and local community engagement, the brand continually strives to grow and expand into a true industry leader. Visit super73.com for more information.
Back on the track, it's group number 2, AFT Production Twins, presented by Vance and Hines class. Last round of qualifying. Number 10, Johnny Lewis was fastest in the first round. He's out front. 71, Pat Buchanan chasing him. 161, Casey Cisco. 50, Jimmy McAllister. 223, Jeffrey Lowry. The 90, Hello Newman. It's Brandon Newman from New York. 117, it's Jordan Harris. 22 is Mitch Harvitt. And the 30 by Brock Schwarzenbacher as we take a look at the Royal Enfield INT 650. And Johnny Lewis, man, that guy will ride anything. He's put every different brand of motorcycle he's ever ridden into a main event.
Yeah, and I think it's going to happen again tonight.
Yeah, he definitely will be up there challenging, possibly looking for a win on that Royal Enfield. Johnny Lewis feeling really comfortable so far. Ben Lau is quickest in this second round of qualifying. Johnny Lewis worked his way up to third right now. Corey Texter's in fourth right now in this second round.
All right,
so he looks like he's found some speed out there. Varnes is second so far in this second round of qualifying. There's Pat Buchanan on the 71. He's currently seventh in this practice qualifying session. Leader is the number 10, Johnny Lewis. And that Royal Enfield, man, it's good to see a different brand out here.
And it's cool what they're doing with the
Build train race.
Yeah,
the
exactly.
girls.
Yeah, the girls. I think that's a very cool opportunity for them.
Women's of Motorcycles Build Train Race program. They said women.
Women.
Not girls. They're adults. They're ladies. They're women. And they'll be riding again with us a few different times this season on the Build Train Race program. White flag is out for Johnny Lewis. A little bit dusty on the higher part of the front straightaway. There's the 71 of Pat Buchanan. They've gapped the rest of the field. Here comes everybody else off of turn number 4. Look back. There's the 161 KC Cisco. Jeffrey Lowry from St. Louisville, Ohio on the 223. He's building wheels now, making all kinds of machines, all kinds of stuff. One more lap to go. There's the 22 of Mitch Harvitt from Pennsylvania. Man, there's a bunch of PA riders in this Production Twins class. There's the checkered flag already for number 10. Made his way back around. Johnny Lewis will settle for third here in this second round of qualifying. 2:7.054. His quick time was in round number 1, 2:6.456. So it looks like that's where he'll end up at the top spot. A Royal Enfield be on the pole for semifinal number 1 if they stick with the times here in front of us in the booth.
That's good for the Lloyd brothers racing. They work hard. A great research and development team. You know, they're always out there riding something that everybody else is not.
Something different.
Something
Absolutely.
different. And they've always been able to take that technology and their smarts and make a fast race bike.
They are in it with both feet, that is for sure. So that is it for qualifying for the AFT Production Twins presented by Vance and Hines. On my list here, we have Mission Super Twins qualifying round number 2. Here's a look at round number 2 unofficially. Ben Lau, Ryan Varnes, Johnny Lewis, Corey Texter, Cameron Smith, Dalton Gauthier way back in 6th. I'm expecting a little bit more out of Dalton. He's struggling a little bit this season.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Well, back there behind him, Pat Buchanan in the 7th spot, Dylan Bell, and Jordan Harris back there in 9th. That is round number 2. Up next, Mission Super Twins. They're qualifying coming up. But we're going to take another quick break. Hope everybody's having a great time out here at the Ohio National Allen County Fairgrounds. When we come back, Mission Super Twins, final round of qualifying up next.
Check out the Indian Scouts over at Johnny K's Indian Tent. Support your local dealer, Johnny K's Indian, Cleveland, Ohio. When you need the best in protection and performance for whatever you ride or drive, you need Liquid Moly oils and additives. Be sure to stop by their display in the vending area for more info about Liquid Moly, the official oil of the Lima Half Mile.
Proven performance is not some sort of empty slogan or marketing catchphrase, but a way of thinking, a mantra, and something we've practiced every day of the week for the last 6 decades. Designed, manufactured, and tested in the heartland of America. On and off the track, S&S Cycle is the first choice in power sports performance.
At Indian Motorcycle, we believe the choices you make define you.
I see myself as a leader, not a follower.
Making the default choice is never an option.
It's easy to join the crowd, but it takes confidence to go your own way.
Motorcycles are meant to escape conformity, not embrace it.
Since 1901, Indian Motorcycle has been the choice of riders who make their own rules. Choose wisely.
Motion Pro. We make innovative tools and products that help you maintain and repair motorcycles, ATVs, and UTVs. Like the patented Pro-Fill Air Chuck, helping you manage tire air pressure on your motorcycle, ATV, or UTV. Easily adjust the Pro-Fill Air Chuck. Get past hot disc brake rotors with the pivoting angled head. Connect it with an airline. Or pair it with a Motion Pro digital tire pressure gauge. Reach for the Pro-Fill Air Chuck to manage your tires. Get yours at motionpro.com or visit Power Sports stores nationwide.
Klotz Synthetic Lubricants is proud to be the official lubricant of American Flat Track. Family owned and made in America since 1959. Klotz has built its reputation by answering the call of racers and performance enthusiasts who won't settle for anything less than superior synthetic lubricants. Racers and performance buffs around the world rely on Klotz to get them to the checkered flag. Order today at KlotzLube.com.
KTM, ready to race.
Memphis Shades brings you a whole new level of style when it comes to motorcycle windshields and fairings. The quality, style, and selection set these products apart from the pack. Memphis Shades designs and builds all windshields, fairings, and hardware in-house. Raw materials in, finished goods out. Made in Memphis. Style that works.
Parts Unlimited, the people behind We Support the Sport, welcome you to this high-action event. We are proud to join with race fans everywhere in working to ensure that our sport gets bigger and more exciting each season. And you too can support the sport by visiting your local dealer who stocks products from Parts Unlimited. They've got the very best in high-performance parts and accessories and the best support network in the business. Parts Unlimited. We support the sport.
Sideburn is the world's finest Go Fast, Turn Left magazine. It is available to buy at Progressive AFT's trackside merchandise booths and is the official magazine of Progressive American Flat Track. For more information, visit sideburnmagazine.com.
And welcome back to the Ohio National. The last Saturday in June, we're racing at Lima. That's what we've been doing since 1984, the heartland of Ohio. Lots going on, still watering the racetrack right now. We still have one more group to go in our qualifying action. It'll be the Mission Super Twins. They'll be coming up next, one group. Will be set to go. The time to beat in the qualifying will be a 2:5.570. I just got my AFT singles overall times in. Looks like they did eliminate 4 riders. So it looks like going home is the 175 Terrence Santero, 133 David Wiggin, 298 Trent Pickle just hasn't found his way around out here in AFT. And the 121 Jacob Cassio. Those 4 riders are done. We'll hopefully see all 4 of those kids and up-and-comers when we go to DuQuoin, July 17th. Fast qualifier, 21, Trevor Bruner. Max Wales, 2nd. Dustin Brown up there, the Canadian rider, 3rd. 17, Wiles is 4th. Dallas Daniels is 5th. So that's your top 5 in our singles qualifying. The rest of the night looks like this for you race fans that are paying attention. This is our final round of qualifying. Opening ceremonies at 6:30 p.m. here Eastern Time. After that, we will have our 6 semifinals, 2 Super Twins, 2 Production Twins, 2 singles semifinals. We'll take the top 8 to the main event out of the Production Twins and singles. And then we'll have our Mission Super Twins Challenge, 4 laps. The top 2 out of each of their semifinals, $5,000 for the winner. That's coming up around 7:40. 8 o'clock today, the rider autograph session, the open pit area going on at 8. Stop by, get your souvenir T-shirt. They're right next to the entrance to the grandstands. The couple, look like 4 different colors of the event T-shirts are down there. Stop by and see Dave and the gang that are down there. Also, after the open paddock, it's 8 to 9. Right at 9 o'clock, we'll have the AFT Production Twins introductions. And then our AFT Production Twins main, 8 minutes plus 2 laps. AFT Singles main, 8 minutes plus 2 laps. And then at the last race of the night, scheduled for about 10 o'clock, the AFT Super Twins rider introductions. They'll walk them out, and then we'll have our Mission Super Twins 10 minutes plus 2 laps. And that's a long time, Tommy, to go wide open around this half mile with dirt flying your way.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, trying to get out of the roost. They're still putting water on the racetrack, but the bikes are firing up right now. Last round of qualifying. Mission Super Twins presented by S&S. Number 1 should lead them out. Briar Bauman. 44, Brandon Robinson. 9 is Jared Meese. 20, Jared Vandekoy. 95, that's Jiggy Dog, JD Beach. 37, Bronson Bauman. 92, Brandon Price. 36, the Flying Tomato, Colby Carlisle. 67, Davis Fisher. 27, Bugs Pearson. And the 43, James the Rocket Rispoli.
Let's see what happens.
Here they come. This is it for qualifying. After this, we have a short break in the action.
3 different countries represented.
Oh, look at you in the singles class. Not only 3 different brands of motors, 2 different brands of motorcycles, 3 different countries in the top 3 spots in the singles. Bruner, of course, from the United States. Whale from Australia. And Dustin Brown from Canada in the 3rd position. I love it. International field, especially in that singles class. Here we go to the Super Twins. It's the Mission Super Twins presented by S&S. The fast time in round 1 was a 2:5.570. That was your fast time. That was the 44 of Robinson. Can anybody beat that time? We're going to find out here soon. We'll watch the live timing scoring. You can download the app just like we're looking at on your smartphone, on your computer, on your tablet, and watch it at home as we're getting the times coming in as soon as they cross the start-finish line here at the Allen County Fairgrounds. There's a look at the 44, Brandon Robinson. He had 2 different injuries last year, left side, right side. This year his right knee got hurt at Joliet. It hasn't stopped him. It hasn't slowed him down one bit, Tommy.
Yeah, it was cool to see him last year at the season finale there on the podium. Not cool, but, in the sense of the determination and the drive. He's there with crutches, but yet he's fast enough to do the double.
Absolutely. There's the 44, Brandon Robinson, currently 3rd in this session. He was quickest in the first round of qualifying, 2:5.57. Right now, Breyer's quickest in this round, 2:5.920 here. It's a little bit rough coming off of turn 2. Look at Bronson coming up there to second. The brothers 1 and 2. Breyer at the top spot, Bronson in second. Now Robinson moves into 3rd on that lap. That was a quick lap for the number 44. There goes Bronson into turn number 3. Just going on by as we're watching the rest of the riders. One of these riders goes way up by the progressive air fence. That's the one bike of Breyer Bauman. White flag has been displayed. This is the last lap of qualifying here at the Lima half mile. Man, I haven't even mentioned the name of this thing. This is the Johnny K's Indian Motorcycle Lima half mile, powered by Drag Specialties.
Johnny's a great guy. From up in our area, Niles, Ohio, Warren, Ohio. He's got 3 great dealerships. If you're looking for a motorcycle, an Indian motorcycle, you got to give Johnny K a shout and check out his inventory. I just bought a Kawasaki Mule off of him.
Really?
Yeah.
Why not? Did he buy some jewelry from you? I mean, you got to trade it out, right?
No, Johnny, if you're listening, you got to come buy some jewelry.
He's here.
Yeah, I know he's here.
He's going to be in Opening Ceremonies.
Awesome.
Yeah. Maybe you should be in Opening Ceremonies sometime, too. You only come to 1 race a year now. I mean, part-timer. Just giving you a hard time. I know you want to be at every round. So Breyer was quickest here in the second round, 2:5.920. Looks like Robinson will be our fast qualifier from round number 1 with a 2:5.570. How about Bronson finding some speed up to second with a 2:6.224? When we were here 2 months ago, he blew up his motorcycle on the very first lap.
Yeah, you hate that.
He was a spectator the rest of the day. So he's looking for a turnaround of his bad luck. He's looking at the screen right now as he goes by the start-finish line. I think he knew he had a good lap. You can feel it, right? When you have a heater, a top-notch lap, you can feel it.
It just feels good. Exactly. Everything's clicking. And I can imagine with the big Jumbotron down there, maybe when they're trying to catch up.
At Oklahoma City, they were especially looking to the left every time they went across the start-finish line. Here's how they finished up round number 2. Breyer Bauman at the top spot, Bronson Bauman second, Robinson third, Fisher was fourth, Colby Carlisle looking strong fifth right here, Vanderkoy sixth. So Vanderkoy's a little faster earlier. He's slowing down just a little bit. Maybe he'll make some changes to the bike. He'll be ready to go in that semifinal. Bugs Pearson seventh, Brandon Price is eighth, Jared Meese way back there in ninth.
Wow.
What's he doing?
I don't know.
All right.
Promoting. He'll be there. He'll be there.
Counting tickets, counting beer sales. You know, maybe he's distracted right now. The Honda Talon back out on the racetrack, taking a couple laps. I got some VIPs here from Honda. A lot of folks here from Progressive Insurance. Welcome to American Flat Track. It's the Honda Talon out there, available in 2-seat or 4-seat models. Probably the most anticipated side-by-side to ever come out. 1,000cc Talon-specific high-output engine. Quick shifting automatic DCT transmission. Exclusive 4-wheel drive technology. Fox Q35 manual adjustable suspension built in Florence, South Carolina, and nobody does it like Honda. Taking a few laps out there. The Honda Talon. I'm so jealous. You got to go around. You've already done that?
I did.
Not today. Just a couple years ago?
2019. It was crazy. In 2018, I had a four-wheeler accident, and it was like, okay, now I'm going to get back in this thing. We're going to hit 80 mile an hour down the back straightaway, pitch it into going into 3, and I'm thinking, I'm holding on for dear life. There's a nice little hand grab bar right there so you can hold on with both hands.
All right. That's the Honda Talon taking a few laps out here around the Lima half mile. We got something from our fans taking Meese around a little bit to show him around what's going on at the track. Let's check this out. I haven't seen this yet. I've heard all about it, and one of our fans sent this to us. So let's check this out. They're taking Jared Meese around to show him what this track's all about. Jared Meese. Let's see. I'll just let it play. Jared Meese had a good time around the pit area. That was pretty cool.
He's everywhere.
Look at the crowd here at Lima. Welcome out here to the Ohio National, one of the biggest crowds we get to see every year. They pack the stands. They go all the way around the fence, man. It's a spectacle to come out here to the Ohio National.
Ohio is steeped in flat track, boy, from back in the 60s, 70s, and so we've got some great fans. And I'm sure a lot of the fans that are sitting out there in that grandstands have banged some lefts in their day.
Absolutely. A lot of fans, a lot of older racers that come out here to watch this one. It's the pea gravel half mile, the only track that's true pea gravel on the circuit. Opening ceremonies at 6:30 p.m. That's not too far away from here. Then we come back and we'll get started with our semifinals. We have 6. The Mission Super Twins will be first. Then we'll have the Production Twins. AFT Singles will be after that. So we'll get our starting lineups up here into the booth here real soon. A lot of racing action left out here today. Tommy, how long are you going to stick around? You taking Brad Baker's job tonight, or what are you doing?
I can't fill those shoes. No way. I'm enjoying.
Look at these race fans out here drinking some ice cold beer.
Hey.
All right. We're going to take a break. When we come back, opening ceremony is not too far away here at the Lima, Ohio half mile. We'll be back. Opening ceremony is coming up.
S&S Cycle is the official exhaust manufacturer of the Indian Wrecking Crew and the premier brand for V-twin performance parts. Check out the S&S Cycle display in the vending area to learn more. Drag Specialties, a major sponsor of today's action, welcomes Lima race fans. At Drag Specialties, our commitment is to riding and is a way of life. That's why we want to remind you, when you're ready to tackle maintenance or add performance and style to your ride, make your first stop a local dealer who stocks products from Drag Specialties. Drag Specialties. Enjoy the races.
Tom Duma Fine Jewelers is proud to be the official jeweler for our 8th year to Progressive American Flat Track, providing championship rings for each class in 2021. TDFJ wants to be your jeweler. Check us out online for all your jewelry needs, from engagement rings to fashion jewelry to watches, in all price points to fit everyone's budget. Shop like a pro. Shop TDFJ.com. You don't take greatness for granted, and neither should your gear. We are Torch Eyewear, and we design sunglasses for protection, performance, and chasing your passion. For more information, visit our website at torcheyewear.com and click on our free Home Try-On program. Race fans, VP Racing Fuels offers a full line of power sports fuels, lubricants, coolants, and appearance products for track and street. From pro racers to weekend warriors, we help riders make more power. Ask your local power sports dealer. SBS is your single source for brake parts and components. From pads to rotors, shoes, and other important parts, covering motorcycles, scooters, motocross bikes, ATVs, and UTVs. We create the power to stop you so you can go ahead. Find the right parts for your bike at www.sbsbrakes.com.
Born from the desire to inspire and create adventure and community, Super 73 is an electric bike brand fusing motorcycle heritage and youth culture. Founded in 2016 and based in Southern California, Super 73 has led the charge in pioneering a new approach to help redefine the electric bicycle industry by emphasizing thoughtful design, responsible manufacturing techniques, and local community engagement. The brand continually strives to grow and expand into a true industry leader. Visit super73.com for more information. At Tech Mounts, we support motorcycle riders, industry retailers, and OEMs for over 20 years. Proudly designed and manufactured in the USA, Tech Mounts has become the #1 source for mounting any mobile device on any vehicle and comes with a lifetime guarantee. See all Tech Mounts products at your local motorcycle dealers, retailers, and on techmounts.com.
Brought to you by Yamaha and its best-in-class lineup of power sports vehicles. For more information on how you too can experience the pinnacle of performance both on and off-road, visit YamahaMotorsports.com.
Parts Unlimited, the people behind We Support the Sport, welcome you to the Lima Half Mile. We are proud to join with race fans everywhere in working to ensure that our sport gets bigger and more exciting each season. And you too can support the sport by visiting your local dealer who stocks products from Parts Unlimited. They've got the very best in high-performance parts and accessories and the best supply network in the business. Parts Unlimited, we support the sport. Fill-Rite fuel transfer pumps are proudly manufactured by Tuthill. Fill-Rite is used by farmers, truckers, construction workers, and more. Come down to the Benning area and speak with professional tractor pull racer Dusty Price and ask him about Fill-Rite.
Around there under Meads. You rarely see that from him. He's so good at staying smooth, but they are letting it all hang out. And on this surface, you've got to. Meads trying to square it up. He goes in high, comes out low. Let's see if he can make the move. He does. Woo! Great onboards to see just how close these two are. And that's even closer. Bauman almost ran it in on him.
These two passing each other back and forth have pulled a big gap over Jake Johnson. Right now, it's going to be a battle for the victory amongst Indian Factory teammates.
And Briar Bauman's luck has run out. We're hearing it's the tire. Yes, there it is. Nothing he can do. They're not going to be able to fix that thing and get him any points. He is done for the night.
Look at the line that Jeffrey Carver's running. Lower than anybody. It seems like all the riders maybe have used up the moisture on top. He's starting to make gains on Jared Mees. This is just amazing racing right now going on. Jeffrey Carver, he's going to run the bottom, go by Jared Mees. Jared Mees takes it back. Henry Wiles is just going to wait for both of these guys to make a mistake. 2 to go.
And that might be critical. Every time off of 4, Mees is able to wait Carver out. Carver drifts high. Mees gets him back. We'll see if they play it the same because the white flag is on its way out. Engine starting to smoke in the 23. It's not slowing him, though. He's able to take the lead coming out of 2. Mees just threads the needle on the high line to hold it.
Jeffrey Carver, one more time. You got to send it. Mees blocks his line a little bit this time. That might be just enough to hold him off.
Yeah, Carver couldn't get the center of the corner. Mees doesn't have to play any tricks. He held the lead all the way through. Checkered flag is out. Huge win for Jared Mees. He takes Lima. Everything coming together for Mees in the series, the night, the race, and I think he's exhausted. Carver and Wiles gave him everything he could handle. I don't know what's left.
I'm exhausted. I can't imagine how these riders feel.
Man, if tonight is anything like that, wait until the racing action gets going here tonight. It is the Lima, Ohio Half Mile. We're glad to be back. Johnny K's Indian Motorcycle Lima Half Mile powered by Drag Specialties. I'm Sky Dubler, the voice of American Flat Track. The last Saturday in June means we come to Ohio, and I'm glad to be back. Let's go down now to our victory podium. He used to be on the Headbangers Ball on MTV. Now he's just the rock star himself. He's also done NASCAR for the last 17 years. Please welcome Ricky Rackman.
I really hate to start this evening on a somber note, but I just need to inform everybody on Vendor Row, they're sold out of deep fried butter. I know it's bad. I don't want to start rioting, but it's sold out of deep fried butter. But we are really ready for an awesome night. Well, hold on. Let me ask you. Are you guys ready for an awesome night of progressive American flat track racing? I am standing so far back here, it is hard for me to hear one more time. Are we ready? I like that. They told me. They warned me about all you people in Lima, and it's all a very good thing. So let's get this thing started. First, I want to say thanks to all the people from Honda that are here. You saw the Honda talent on the track. You can go to your local Honda dealer and check out the talent. And also all the fine people from Progressive Insurance that are also here that make all this Progressive American flat track stuff happen. Okay, it is the Johnny K's Indian Motorcycle Lima Half Mile, powered by Drag Specialties. Let's get this show on the road, shall we? I'd like to welcome from MRO, please rise and remove your hats for the evocation from Raymond Rizzo.
Thank you, Ricky. Before we pray, as a family, we want to honor one of our special friends, a worker for a very long time with us. We miss him. We lost him this year, Charlie Metzger. We'd like to honor him in a moment of silence. Join with me, please. Thank you. Loving Heavenly Father, we're so grateful for your grace and mercy, your love seen and unseen. Thank you for each and every one that is here tonight and your many blessings on this beautiful evening together. We pray, Father, that you would bless all of our riders, help them to be able to do everything tonight with safety, and help them to be their best tonight. We thank you for all of their crew and everyone that's helping them this evening, their sponsors, their family and friends. I pray a special blessing on them. Each one of those that are serving tonight around this facility, those that have been working behind the scenes, we say thank you. And we also ask, God, that you would bless all of our fans, all of our friends here that are watching, and those that are here in person. Bless each and every one, and we'll thank you all in the name of Jesus. And everyone said, amen and amen.
Thank you very much, Raymond Rizzo. Now I'd like to introduce all of you to John Heasley from Johnny K's Indian Motorcycles, making this a great event. How are you doing?
Hey, what's going on tonight? You guys all ready for this or what? I also want to say, right from all of us here at Johnny K's, a lot of people didn't get their props last Sunday, so hey, happy Father's Day to each and every one of you guys out there tonight.
And I know that Indian Motorcycles obviously doing really good in flat track, and Indian Motorcycles, I personally drive a Chieftain, are selling really well right now.
Yeah, that is correct. We're having a great success at Johnny K's Power Sports. We do have 3 locations, one in Niles, one in Lodi, and one in Cleveland. The thing is, right now, they can't make them fast enough and get them in our store. We're selling them out so quick.
Well, definitely, if you want to go check out an Indian Motorcycle, check out Johnny K's Indian. Thank you, John. And now let's take a look back at all the action from last week in the OKC.
OKC Mile, my hometown. We got to go back there, race at Remington Park. Here's Production Twins. It was Corey Texter grabbing another hole shot. It was hole shot after hole shot for C-Tex on the 65. He led from the start out here, but look at this. Chad Coates going to the high side, working on that high line up there against the air fence, trying to make it work, trying to square it off and come up the inside and take it off of turn number 2. He takes the lead momentarily. Corey Texter gets the drive on the G&G Yamaha. He'll end up winning out there at the OKC Mile. Looks like there's second place coming across the line. And now let's go to the AFT singles class. Wiles on the outside on the American Honda, doing for Turner Racing. Max Whale on the inside. This is, of course, night number 2. It would be a dogfight between these two riders. Wiles actually stretched out the lead for a little while with a few laps to go. Here comes Max Whale on the 18 bike up the inside. Downshift in the factory Red Bull. KTM taking the lead and taking the win. And he's on fire right now, the 18 bike Max Whale. That was your AFT singles. Now we go to the Mission Super Twins presented by S&S Cycles. Jared Vandekoy grabs the hole shot with the bright blue leathers on the bright yellow on the high side. That's Jared Meese. And here comes the 44, has to get in the mix. He won the first night. They come off of turn number 4. It's Robinson out front, but the double checkered flags by a large margin. Jared Meese taking the win on the 9. Robinson comes home in second. Briar Bauman back there in third and still retains our points lead. And now, we'll go to the top 5 of our Mission Super Twins presented by S&S Cycles. We'll start with 5th place, number 95 on the number plate from Philpott, Kentucky. Your Atlanta Super TT winner, doing it for Estenson Racing, Yamaha Racing, and Monster Energy. Number 95, J.D. Beach. Moving to fourth in the point standings of the Super Twins. He's got 4 top 5s in the 2021 season, sponsored by Mission Foods, Roof Systems of Dallas, Texas. Oh, yeah, from Mount Gilead, Ohio. Make some noise for the number 20 bike, Jared Vanderkoy. Third place in the point standings, your 5-time Lima, Ohio half-mile winner. Doing it for Indian Motorcycle, Progressive Insurance, Rogers Racing, SDI Racing from Sebastian, Florida. Number 9, the Jammer, Jared Mees. Second place in the point standings from Oxford, Pennsylvania. 2 wins in 2021. Also your 2016 Lima winner. Sponsored by Mission Foods, Roof Systems of Dallas, Texas. From Oxford, Pennsylvania, the 44, it's the Revolver, Brendan Robinson. And your current points that are coming into tonight's race. Your 2017 Lima half-mile winner from Salinas, California. Doing it for Indian Motorcycle, Progressive Insurance, and S&S Cycle. The number 1 rider in the country, 2-time and defending Grand National Champion, Briar Bauman. And now let's go back to that victory podium. Here is Ricky Rackman.
Thank you, Scotty. And now to present our nation's colors, the Marine Corps League. And now please rise, remove your hats for our national anthem, performed by Audra Leber.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Let's give it up for Audra Leber. And you know what? I don't want to stand back there. Come here with me, Todd. I want everybody that's watching on TrackPass, I want everybody, yeah, even you in Canada that are watching this on Facebook Live, to see what these people in Lima look like. This is supposed to be the rowdiest crowd that we hit in Progressive American Flat Track. Is that true what they say about all you people in Lima? Look at that. It's packed. I got to tell you, it is so good to see each and every one of you out here. I saw you piling into the stands. We are ready for some great American flat track racing. I am so excited to be here. You guys look very excited to be here. Am I correct? So who do you like tonight? Who do you like? You think Jared Mees is going to do it tonight? He's promoting the race. What about Briar? What about B-Rob? How about I get quiet and we start racing? Oh, they like that the best. Okay. Now I need everybody to repeat after me as we get this evening started. Back to you, Scotty.
Thanks a lot, Ricky Rackman down there. Have some fun with the crowd. For you folks watching on Facebook, it's time to switch on over. TrackPass on NBC Sports Gold right now. Switch on over to TrackPass on NBC Sports Gold. That's Ricky Rackman. We talked to Chris and Beat. Tom Duma was up here earlier. And now bringing into the booth your former champion and your winner here in 2015. How about it, Brad?